What it is, what it do, man. Shout out to the team, certified all day, Black Alpha in the building. Let's go to work. You already know what time it is. Man, it's in the middle of the day and these folks done got their wake up call. We're going to get right to it because I got to talk about some people. I got to talk about some people with some big old foreheads. I got to talk about some people that with some messed up, janky hairlines. Yep, we going all the way there today. And, you know, the problem is that it ain't just us. See, we've been calling them out for a whole long time, but apparently Donald Trump got them on that hit list, on that target list. It's about to be target practice for all of them folks. What happened to all of those little Black American mockery slave auctions that the Somalians was doing? Y'all remember that? Y'all remember what happened to all that? I'm not black. I ain't this. I ain't none of it. Well, apparently all of them have found out that they're tethers, and tethers can't live in my country. And tethers mooch off of my country. And since I am a certified foundational Black American, meaning indigenous and aboriginal, all of my brothers and sisters are here today and you are all the same as well, we will go ahead and wish all of these people a happy departure, because word on the block is ICE is going door to door in Minnesota and they rounding up all the Somalians. And I think Omar and her brother husband, I think they're going to get rounded up as well, and they're all going to get sent out of here. Man, it's been a hell of a last week and a half for all the tethers. You pick the homeland, their asses is getting picked up. You point them out, so is ICE. Deportation, here. Reverse migration, here. And I'm just laughing. I'm just laughing because it's not my job to try to make allegiances with these people. It's not my job to click up with these folks. I'm good. See, what they don't realize, fam, is that we foundational Black Americans, so that means everything we got is already in house. We ain't got to go looking for nobody. But they wanted all the smoke with us, so we gonna sit back and we gonna watch them get smoked out. And that's a beautiful thing, and we beautiful people. This is a beautiful world, and we out here winning right now. So if y'all seen right now the reverse migration going on, and we've been talking about reverse migration on the Black Alpha Network for about 3-4 years. I told everybody it was coming, and it is here. TPS cut off. All the little court dates where they was trying to save something, shit, not happening. That's over with. And then if you want to add on top of all of that, the visas getting revoked. All the permits done, reviewed, snatched up. The population in the United States of America is about to go through a massive decrease. And the decrease are going to be people who had no business being here in America in the first place. America for Americans. Something that Black Americans have been saying. Understand, y'all, there ain't nothing going on right now in America that we have not already predicted and said. It looked like everybody's been watching us, taking our talking points, and now they writing it in policy. So when I say FBA rule the world, I mean, goddamn, all you got to do is look around. Sounds like MAGA is delineating. Sounds like MAGA is gatekeeping. Sounds like MAGA has been sitting back, taking notes, understanding what we're doing, and sending home all of these individuals. And I don't have a problem with it. I don't give a damn if MAGA, BAGA, RAGA, I don't give a damn who you are. As long as these people who ain't got no business being in my country get kicked out my country, it's a wrap. See, what we're dealing with now, y'all, is delineation to the maximum. And delineation came at a great time. The reason why delineation came at a great time, because the whole world now is becoming ethnicity, lineage, heritage based. All that stuff where there ain't no borders and I'm just jumping from place to place to place. Hell no. All that stuff, I'm going to travel from the other side of the earth and come to the United States of America and try to take away what Black Americans have created. Hell no. We put our foot down and we said we ain't tolerating it. And now apparently everybody's getting the picture, and I'm loving it because we the ones who painted it. We framed it. We got that right on our wall. Say delineation, take your ass home. And the crazy thing is a lot of people who already are at their homeland aren't going to be able to come here. So it's a double whammy. It's a two-sided story, fam. You got folks who got to get kicked out of America, and then you got folks who cannot come to America. So not only are you going to get the population decrease, you're going to also have all of their homelands getting increased. And that's the way it should be. All this stuff where I'm not going to live where I'm from, I'm not proud of who I am, man, all that stuff going to bite them in their ass. And that's good. We told the people in the Caribbean, we told the Africans, we told everybody. And I got it all for anybody. Hey, Ukrainians, cool. All y'all, it don't matter, fam. All tethers are created equal. The tethers of color, and they can all leave together. But guess what? FBA staying, everybody else going, because we already won. I told people we won before the story even started. What you thought was going to happen? What you thought? How you thought this was going to end? You thought this was going to end with like us, the indigenous, we're going to go somewhere else? Hell no. That ain't how it, man, fam. Listen, this has always been in the cards. And shout out to all the brothers and sisters who knew this forehand. And then listen to people talking about some black folks is getting detained. Y'all next. I'm still waiting. Where the next at? Where the next? What, I got to wait for the next century to see it? All that stuff where y'all gonna get packed up and y'all gonna get deported. Notice y'all, they not talking like that no more. They ain't talking like that no more. No. They done ran through all the lies and all the deception. Where they at with it now? Because what I see now is we ain't next. I'm going to tell you who's next. It's going to be the Nigerian next, then the Somalian next, the Haitian next, the Jamaican next, all the Haitians. Your next is coming up here in February. Yep. And that's for the TPS, the temporary protective status, which I call the tether protection service. All that's getting cut off. So your next is happening right now. You shouldn't have been worrying about black Americans, should you? You should have been worrying about your own goddamn business. See, we don't respect people who worrying about our business. Our business is our business. Yours is yours. Keep your ass at home. Get the hell out of my country. And if we want to get on some American exceptionalism, bring it. Everybody else can wave that damn flag and talk about, I'm proud to be an American. I'm proud to be an American because my people built this thing. I'm an American. Get the hell out of my country ASAP, immediately, pronto, tanto. And it's all good and it's all G and we rocking. Is that my brother Kid Gravity? I see you, brother. Certified salute to Kid Gravity. My sister Natural, the tether detector in the mother beep building. Shout out to you, sister. I'm going to pass the mic to you because I know you want to go ahead and body slam a few folks. Fam, one rule. Absolutely no profanity if you come up. I got a lot of elders who listen, a lot of young folks who listen, and all that. Every other word is a cuss word. I'm not tolerating it. So treat this very respectable, like you amongst some certified foundational black Americans, and we going to go to work. But if that's the type of time you on and you're ready to rock, go ahead and come on up, request to speak, and tell me how you feel about these people getting their wake-up call. But FBA, we been wait 24/7, 365 on time. Go ahead, my sister. The floor is yours.
I ain't gonna go too much in on these Somalians, but boy, how times have changed. It is so crazy. Just the beginning of this year, they was all on X. I'm talking about doing slave auctions. I'm talking about denigrating us. Now, y'all black. Listen here, light bulb heads. Stop claiming black. We're not coming out there to help you because aren't they Arab? I had to go look to see what do they identify as on the census. Y'all not black, have never identified as black. Now they want to use black because they think that they're going to get empathy or sympathy. Oh, he's being racist against black people. That's how you know we're the currency, because y'all always have to lean on us, the bums, the thugs, the unsuccessfuls, the baby mamas. We are the currency, and y'all been knew that. And lessons are just being taught this year, and it ain't over. But what we want y'all to do is we want you to keep that pre-TPS energy. Remember how you was acting before TPS. Keep the pre-TPS energy. We're not coming out there. We don't give a damn what you say. We agree with Trump. Okay, I'm saying it right here. If it ain't we, I agree with him. We want y'all up out of here. We not helping none of y'all. No Nigerians. I see now the Nigerians saying, we always claim black. Listen, foundational black Americans, we keep impeccable receipts. We got receipts on y'all from years denigrating us on this app alone. So don't try it now. Y'all not coming over here either. We're not helping none of y'all. We want y'all up out of here. You hearing it from a black American. Stop saying, oh, Trump racist because he coming after black people. Remember, y'all don't identify as black. You're Nigerian. You're Jamaican. You're Somali. So we want you to keep that pre-TPS energy. No capes will be on. Our capes are disabled indefinitely for all of y'all asses. Sorry. So I want to be speaking about something different, but if anyone else want to talk about these TPS statuses and these light bulb heads going on a war dry begging tour thinking that they gonna get some empathy, we want y'all out of here. Talking about they work hard, they got better cars. I bet so. With that big welfare fraud y'all got going on out there, I bet y'all are driving some nice cars. But does anyone else want to go in on them?
First off, my sister said pre-TPS energy. Damn, you got to elaborate on that, my sister. I got to hear the whole thing with that one.
I mean, remember what the energy was prior to? We don't have no power. Y'all don't have no power. Y'all ain't gonna never get no reparations. Like I said, it's slave auctions, the Johnny Somalis, y'all better, y'all work better. Y'all out there running welfare fraud. Welfare fraud. And they picking y'all asses up. Where is that energy now? Where is the pre-TPS energy? Y'all Nigerians too? Remember, did you see Burna Boy? Now he paying for funerals and stuff. No backseas. We not playing with y'all. We've been handing out lessons all year. We don't care. We don't care who funeral you play for. We don't care what you Nigerians say. We don't care. The Capes are disabled indefinitely. Keep that same energy y'all had before you found out that your asses can't get shipped up out of here. Because before, y'all was all hoping that it could be us. Y'all was hoping, wishing, and praying. I seen some of them saying that they was gonna put witchcraft on her. They was gonna do voodoo on Trump. And look, the voodoo didn't work. Y'all asses is still getting up out of here. Still getting up out of here. But that's what I mean by that pre-TPS energy. Keep the same energy. I'm Nigerian. I'm not black. I'm Somali. I'm not black. Remember, y'all not black. Y'all better than us. Now y'all black? No, keep the same energy, because we keeping the same energy. Capes is still not going to be put on for y'all. So best that you keep the same energy. Best you do that. So that's what I mean by that pre-TPS energy. Keep the same energy.
And you know what? The crazy thing about that is they thought they was just going to flip it, right? They thought they was going to put all these documents out there all this time when they was talking reckless about us and just flip it real quick at the last hour. At the last hour, they thought they was going to say, no, we black. We black just like you. We all black, brother. That whole we all black thing is over. Okay. We was calling out from day one. Okay. But when I say it's over, I mean it's over as you won't even be able to talk to me. Matter of fact, don't even speak to black Americans. You better go ahead, go back to your homeland. You ain't got no choice. What you need to do is listen to what I'm telling you. Because you're going back to your homeland one way or another, okay? At the end of the day, you thought it was sweet. Let's be real, y'all. Let's be real. They thought it was sweet. They thought it was cool. They thought they was going to come to the United States of America, disrespect foundational black Americans, snuggle up next to the dominant society, and get their little way. Nope. Found out that ain't happening. All this stuff was coming straight up and down. Oh, and by the way, shout out to Dr. Randy Short. Okay. He was telling me Tethergeddon was coming. He told me Tethergeddon was coming, and Tethergeddon done showed up immediately right in front of everybody. You ain't gonna have these videos where you disrespecting foundational black Americans, going out your way to say how black you ain't. Well, cool. Well, then stay non-black. Y'all remember back in the day when black folks used to try to tell people, they'd be like, oh, you know you black, right? You know you black. That's that thing with the Pan-Africans. All right, you black, you black, you black. See, that's the main difference. They want everybody to be black. I don't give a damn. You ain't got to be nothing. You don't want to be black? Cool. Black don't want you. How about that one? Because we the only ones who really hold it down. Everybody else is just a mop. Melanated other person, okay, with the emphasis on other. So now we ain't out here trying to tell nobody to be black. No, that's old. Hell no. If you don't want to be black, black don't want you. All right, that's it. Black is exclusive for riders. If you ain't riding, then you sit down. You sit down. I remember all the videos. I remember y'all coming over here mocking what we deal with in America. I know what it is. I know you love that W man more than you love yourself. And you think coming down on black Americans and disrespecting us is going to put you in some type of high regard or high favor? I know. But let me tell you what else I know. I know that you on your way home too. As we speak right now, ICE is snatching people up in Minnesota. And Minnesota's only one hub. That go for the Nigerians, the Kenyans, whoever, anybody. Y'all all been talking. You want to talk about ABK, anti-black karma. Fam, when anti-black karma shows up, it knows no jurisdiction. It'll get you across any border. You can't run from it. You can't hide from it. It'll show up and it's going to pop up and your ass is done. Let me tell you what anti-black karma is. Family, you say black Americans 3 times, fam, we're going to pop up like the candy man. All right. We're going to pop up and like the candy man and your ass is going back to your homeland. And it's simple as that. That's what's going on right now as you see it. And ain't nobody saving nothing. Don't be black. It's funny. Nobody ever wants to be black until they're about to get deported. That's the only damn time. You're about to get deported, then you want to be black. Nah, no, black is exclusive. So delineation and deportation is a powerful thing. Delineation and reverse migration is a powerful thing. Foundational black Americans, we're a powerful lineage. The only one that really matters. Number one. Everybody else, I don't even know who you are. We ain't paying them no attention. Fam, now we're moving into the process of who, what, when, where, why. Don't give a damn. Don't know who you are. You can't talk to me. Remember, we're Americans. Y'all want to come to my country. See, here's the thing. Now, if we go over to y'all country, y'all wouldn't allow us to do a damn thing. Y'all wouldn't say nothing. Don't let these people try to fool you like there's some type of reciprocal behavior here. No. In their homelands, fam, they'd be a billion times worse. All we doing is telling them to fix their homeland. Why are you so mad? You should be taking advice. Go back to Somalia. Why don't you go back to Somalia, pick up a mop, dustpan, and broom, and get to cleaning it up? God damn, what's so difficult about cleaning? All right. In America, foundational Black Americans, let me tell you what we do. We clean all the damn time. All right. All the damn time. I wish my mama tell me to clean. I was like, I don't want to clean. I wish my mama tell me to clean and she got to drag me across the damn house to go clean. These folks out here kicking and screaming because they don't want to clean. You don't want to clean? What's wrong with you? What the hell? Listen, you got a big ass head. You should be able to fit a little of this information inside. Cleaning is good. Cleaning is good. I have no problem with a mop. A mop is fine. A dustpan and a broom. They made it for cleaning. All right. You shouldn't cry when you got to go back home. How the hell is Mr. Mutombo 6'5" and he's afraid of a broomstick? God damn. Hop your ass on that broomstick now and fly back to your homeland like the Wicked Witch of the East. All right. And you can get the hell out of my homeland. I don't respect people who don't like to clean. All right. Donald Trump said it because Donald Trump be listening. What Donald Trump said the other day? Donald Trump was talking about something. These people come to America. They disrespect America. And it's not like they come from paradise. These people come from trashy, horrible countries. Come here and then just disrespect everybody. America's not good enough. Damn America. Well, here's the thing. If America's so bad, then why are you here? See, that's the whole bigotry of the whole situation. You're here in America, mooching off of us and then disrespecting us. In what world do you think that that's going to fly, Mr. Fufu? No, it don't work like that. So might as well just get the hell up out of here. Nobody, let me say this, and I'm speaking on behalf of all the people who are indigenous to where they live. Nobody respects somebody who cries when they got to go home. All right. If you got to kick, scream, and throw a temper tantrum because you got to go home, you'll never garner respect from the planet Earth. And I think I speak for all Earthlings, okay? I'm going to talk for all 7 billion people on the planet, the real ones, okay? So you can divide that, you can multiply that, you can chop that up to fit your mathematics. Nobody on the planet Earth respects a fleer. Nobody on the planet Earth respects a non-cleaner. Nobody on the planet Earth respects a big grown-ass man or woman who kicks and screams like a little child when they got to go home. Fam, nobody told you to go into a whole different atmosphere. I didn't tell you to leave the galaxy. They're acting like we just gonna ship them off to space in the goddamn rocket ship. No, it's a plane. The same way your ass got over here. Now you don't understand traveling. Ain't that funny, y'all? Ain't that funny? They don't understand traveling now. You know how to travel to get here. They got all these new means. If you jump over the bridge and you swim and you go past the great white shark and there might be a whale and there's a snake right there, you could cross over that. You go 3 steps forward, then you turn. You know all of that, how to flee, but you don't know how to reverse flee. Get your mind right, get your game tight, and you might be all right. Go ahead, my sister Natural, and then we'll go ahead and give it to EJ.
I just want to say, this is so funny to me, you know, how they always said we don't have no power when we know we're the muscle and we are the influence. So much that now you got the Nigerians, the Jamaicans, everybody else. They jumping on the Somalians now. I don't know if y'all seen that because I be in all the spaces. They jumping on them now, telling them to go home. So now y'all on foundational Black Americans side, and then also involuntarily, because we're all Americans, I even see white people and Black people in the spaces both telling Somalians, take your behinds home. So involuntarily, the same people that they want proximity to is dissing their ass. They want your asses gone. So, and I'm loving it. I am loving it. Yeah, y'all want to bootlick people and have proximity to them, and they want your behinds about this country too. All Americans want your asses up out of here with your light bulb heads. Go ahead, EJ.
Thank you, my beautiful Black American sisters. Now, these big jingle block light bulb forehead individuals are just going crazy up there in, Minnesota. It's smelling like, it's such a shame that the Purple City, the home of our late great brother Prince, has had to smell this stench and this funk that's coming from the insides and the outsides and the pits of these terrorists' mouths or underarms. This just goes to show you that everybody can't be on the same accord when it comes to this whole delineation thing. And we can see that amongst, some of our people within our lineage. And guess who I heard? One of these mushmouth bastards come in there, one of these elders that we dealt with before, the little shocker dude. And that reminded me that we got to be on our P's and Q's when it comes to, these Pan-African goofies that want to be up here, getting headbutt by one of these, Somalian female individuals. I mean, if you can find you a good one and y'all can rub your heads together and, make a couple of babies and you want to be on your green, black, and red Pan-African stuff, I want you to try that in Africa. See if you can use the power of the, green, black, and red to make the Somalians stay over there and just get a broom, a dustpan. See, I do custodial work, so you got to have your, your PPE, your personal protective equipment. Well, I'm gonna call it T. I'm trying to think of something. The tether the tether cleaning kit. I'm gonna call it the TCK, the tether cleaning kit. You got to have the necessary tools to clean up your own, mess. Because Black Americans, we dealing with, y'all getting, deported, and we just trying to make $1 out of 15 cents out here every day. But these deportations are truly showing you who's on code within our lineage and who's off code and want to take up for these people, knowing damn well they wouldn't spit on you if he was on fire. So, the moral of the story is they can cry me a river, Justin Timberlake voice. But I just want to keep the family motivated by, roasting these individuals, keep making fun of their messed up hairlines, keep putting them in their place. Every time one of these ICE agents arrest things all over the pillows, all over the carpet, they just leave a mess everywhere. So, the days of us cleaning up after these individuals is over with. So, with each deportation, they lose their energy. Like when you turn the lights off, when you're not trying to use it in your apartment, they got them big ass light bulb forehead, so their energy is just being depleted. So, I just want to keep these tethers motivated by, y'all getting deported and get snatched up and going back to your village. I don't know if y'all seen the video from earlier this week, but one of the tethers got deported. He was looking so sad and so pitiful. It was like his soul just left his body. See, he wasn't used to not getting his own way since the United States of America have been giving him everything under the Biden-Harris administration. But once the Orange Cheeto, aka Donald Trump, Mr. 47, got into the White House, he put his foot on his neck and just started hitting Stone Cold Stunner. So, these people got to realize that the days of mooching off foundational Black Americans is over with. And every time I see them get deported, I just start buying a new bamboo stick because I can't let all the ICE agents have the fun. I got to be out here, put them in their place verbally. But with that being said, I'll land my plane.
Shout out to you, fam, all damn day. Yes, family. Do y'all remember that big hefty ass tether that was talking about putting witchcraft and stuff on black folks? The nurse lady who said that she wasn't going to do nothing, or said she was going to not help black folks or whatever. Y'all know she's on the internet right now trying to throw Somalis under the bus in behalf of us, making it look like you've been mean to the Black Americans, so now you need to go. There's a tether on tether crime right now. And what you're seeing is all the tethers are spinning the block on the other tethers. That's what's happening right now in America. Yeah, that big, same hefty whale lady that was like, Black Americans, you want to boycott the African braiding shops. I'm not going to help y'all if y'all come into my hospital. All that. Yeah, that big old one. Yep, her. Had all that craziness to talk about Black Americans. She got video after video right now on the internet, and she's talking about how the Somalians were so mean to Black Americans, and the Somalians is making the block hot, and how she wants to take the Somalians to court. Fam, we got tethers trying to take tethers to court. I don't know exactly what the hell she's going to take them to court for. Like, there's no case for that, I guess. I don't know. That's tether logic, which means it makes no sense. But yep, she's out there right now saying that she's going to take the Somalians to court. And then I seen other ones too. All of them, fam, they turning on each other. That tribalism kicks in. See, they used to want to be one big immigrant, right? All the immigrants get together under one banner and one umbrella and go after Black Americans. Now, them same MFers is out here and they're saying it's the Somalians' fault. And if Donald Trump comes out next week and he says, I don't know, Kenyans, they're going to turn on the Kenyans, say it's the Kenyans' fault. The Haitians, it's going to be the Haitians' fault. These people have no loyalty to each other. They don't have loyalty to their homeland. They don't have loyalty to anything. All they know how to do is point the finger at the next person and the next person and the next person. And that's playing out clear as day. So now we watching it and we seeing it. And the way it's going down is crystal clear. We predicted in the past it's come to fruition. No. Somehow they'll be blaming Black Americans. That's just what they do. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter. You can blame us right on out the door. You can blame Black Americans all damn day long. I know your tether priorities are messed up. Somehow you think it's Black Americans. I get it. I understand. Cool. However, The main play in this situation is that y'all still going home. So no matter what you say about Black Americans, that homeland is calling. And y'all know, like I know, a lot of them got a lot of turmoil in their homeland. There's a lot of reason why these tethers don't want to go home, y'all. First off, they're afraid to clean, okay, because they're addicted to filth. That's fam. If you're addicted to filth, I'm sure that you don't like cleaning. All right. So only imagine that. But that's only half. However, on the flip side, these individuals have the mentality that you're going to come to somebody else's homeland, disrespect the indigenous people, and nothing is going to happen to you in return. Wake up call. That's what's happening to you in return, family. And I'm going to be honest with you. These wake up calls are coming in the form of policies. See, these wake up calls are a little different than the other ones. The other ones was just them getting checked. Now it's going in the form of policies. Fam, how many policies did Donald Trump implement in 1 week? In 1 week, fam, it was just Thanksgiving a week ago. And that's when that whole National Guard situation happened. Look at how many things have occurred after that situation. It's a crazy world we living in. And it's a beautiful world we living in because it's a beautiful country that our ancestors created. So they don't have no say in this matter. And it's a wonderful thing for us. And it's a terrible thing for them. But guess what, y'all? It's always been that way. I was telling everybody before, all you had to do was just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Get you some popcorn, sit back, turn on your television, watch Mr. Mutombo, the 77th, get his ass drug out the house, drug down the block, thrown on that plane, and he might end up in alligator Alcatraz. Who knows? Hey, who knows? Donald Trump talking about bringing out the bears and the sharks, fam. But then again, they're used to the sharks, ain't they? Because they got to deal with the sharks when they swim across the Mediterranean Ocean, okay, or sea, to go to Europe. So if you're used to the sharks in the Mediterranean Sea, then you should be used to the sharks that Donald Trump is going to put in these facilities. I mean, damn, all you had to do was take our advice, but now it done crashed down. It's bad for you. Go ahead, my sister.
I'm going to let EJ go because I have a serious question for the family. And I also want to go over some group economic things I want to talk about. I do see we have a white gentleman in here, Glenn, and some other people. I'm going to be asking people of other ethnic groups a question after EJ speak. Okay?
I'm glad you said that about them, being unfamiliar with these animals, because, if the animals from Pokemon that really existed, I think Ice could have used them as like guard dogs or something for, the alligator Alcatraz. We have a couple of Pikachus out there, a couple of Bulbasaurs, they like their bushmeat burnt, so you can use the Charmeleons and some Charmanders, to keep that bushmeat that they serve them in the prison cells real crispy. But, this just goes to show you that this could have all been avoided if you got on code with your people in your homeland. And then if you wanted to come to America, get on code with the people who've been fighting and sacrificing for decades, helping y'all when your country couldn't even give y'all a damn ticket to go back to y'all damn countries. You had European countries trying to pay these tethers to go back to their African countries. They were so desperate not to go back to their homeland. They didn't even want to take the money. I done seen people jumping out of, buses. They dragging these people all across the floor. I just had a video on my page a couple of minutes ago before the space started of these tethers fighting all through the damn mall in Minnesota. They got Jollof everywhere. These out here wearing dresses. They out here throwing ones and twos. I've seen a couple of bamboo sticks. Chicks all over the place just flying. Folks getting pepper spray. I'm like, man, these tethers are out of control. See, we can't have this type of savagery amongst our people in America. You think it's bad when these white folks fight in churches when, a lot of them don't get enough money for donations. Look at what these tethers will do in hostile situations or in controlled environments where people are just trying to have fun and just live, day by day trying to make something for their families and themselves. So, I blame America for this situation, allowing these illegals coming over here just causing chaos. And, I don't agree with a lot of things that the Trump administration does. But when it comes to these deportations of these illegal alien savages, I'm 100% behind him because this is common sense. No country within the world, let alone on any continent will deal with this kind of crap, man. You don't see Asians going through this kind of crap with their immigrants. You can't be Chinese and be in Japan illegally. You got to have proper paperwork and documentation to step into another person's country. Like when you come to another person's home, just respect the damn house. But a lot of these tethers, if not the majority of them, they don't have common sense because look at their countries. They don't respect their homeland. They don't respect their people, and they don't respect the people who actually tried to do something for them. They got trash all over the place. Don't have no infrastructure. Don't have no army. Don't have no government. These people out here are just really cutthroat, man. And these Somalians, man, I might have to change them to the number one tethers, man, because I thought the Nigerians was the worst. But these big both individuals, they just going for that number one title of just being top five, worst tethers of all time, man. You remember when Jada Kidd said top five dead or alive? I might have to change out the Somalians as number one and just put the Nigerians as number two. Or I might just have to put them as one tier A and B tier one, because both of them tethers are going back and forth. They snitching on themselves, man. A lot of them don't have no loyalty. They see that people getting deported, so they're going to snitch on the other tether to see if they can try to get some trinkets, a couple of ICE agents. You'll be out here snitching. Oh, please, sir, I have a couple of floors down that I know they're illegal, but I'm not illegal. But if you could just let me slide, I will get. It's just like when you're trying to do like tips when you see a criminal on the run, when you have a reward and stuff. So they basically doing the same thing, and hopefully we can get a bounty hunter program in the next couple of months when it comes to these terrorists getting deported back to their homelands. But with that being said, I'm gonna land my plane, man. Make sure y'all keep deporting these illegal aliens as quick as possible, man. But with that being said, I'll let somebody else speak.
Shout out to you. Before I get to my sister Natural, let me ask this question to y'all. How many of y'all seen this whole thing with the Somalians talking about they were blessed and whatever to have America, and prophecy says that they supposed to be here in our homeland? Did y'all see that mess? Tell me y'all seen that. You got Somalians out there saying the prophecy dictates that America's really theirs and they was promised.
And they was promised this land, and if they don't get up out of here.
I done heard a hell of a lot of ways to try to steal foundational Black American, Aboriginal, Indigenous culture. But you done pulled out one from the damn sky, literally, with that BS. I mean, I know deportation is coming. I know you're going to be forced to have to right your wrongs. Okay. But God damn. Don't sit there and start talking about prophecy says that Am's really the original. How come prophecy said that you don't have Somalia? God damn. Go to Africa. Why come prophecy got you all the way over here in the United States? How come prophecy got you in my homeland, on my house, on my block? How come prophecy don't put you on your block? How come prophecy ain't put you in your homeland to fix your homeland and to get all those things that you admire and desire right there in Africa? You pick 54 countries, which about 50 of them are in debt to the World Bank. But that's another issue for another day. We're not going there right now, Alpha. We're going to put that off here over on the side, and we're going to get back to that. 54 countries, and prophecy led you to my country. Could it be all that stuff you saying is BS? And what it really is that you just want to come over here and mooch off of me, and you done ran through every single excuse, alibi, and justification. So now you want to start pulling out religion. Is that really what it is? Mr. Somalian, be real now. Be real. I know you out there marrying your brothers and sisters and doing all types of messy stuff out there, but is that what it's really about? So family, we got these people who tried to use the we all Black, brother, that ain't worked. Then you seen the we all people of color, that ain't worked. Then you seen the Pan-Africanism, that ain't work. Now these folks are saying the sky cracked open and then the light came down. And then I got an epiphany when I floated and elevated 4 feet off the floor, and it told me that I got to go to America because that's the destiny for all Somalians. Your ass has tethered yourself retarded. Okay? You have tethered yourself retarded. If you don't come up with something better than that one, just say it. You failed. You failed in your homeland. Y'all know what? Now that we think about it, we talk about they failed their homeland. What do you call a tether who failed their homeland, came here and failed at being a tether? You failed at being an immigrant. You were 2-time in failure. God, I told everybody that the F in FLIR stands for failure, but damn, you failed in your homeland and then you just flopped. It ain't even failed. You flip-flopped coming over here to the United States of America. Get your game right. Take that ish off. You embarrassing everybody. You done failed at being a failure. How the hell you lose it? Losing. Damn. You can't even do that right, Mr. FLIR. You done failed in your homeland. You picked the place, and then you now are getting deported. How you gonna go back over there and tell all the little baby tethers that you failed and you can't send money back home from America? How you gonna pull that one? How you gonna go back home and tell everybody that that BS about your destiny and prophecy was all cap? Okay, and that didn't work neither. How you gonna look at your little baby tethers in the eyes and tell them that you failed when you left, you failed when you were there, and last time I checked, both of those combined means that you failed in life. You lost at losing. And Foundational Black Americans, we just cruising. Go ahead, my sister.
Thank you, thank you. So I'm about to ask some serious questions to the family, and this is in regards to basically half Black Alpha's last space about this James Smalls and just backdooring and how people backdoor into our lineage. And I'm going to ask the family a serious question. So I want to know, can you truly be on code 100% if you're laying in bed with another ethnic group? Now, remember, James Small, Black Alpha, exposed his wife is Caribbean, and we know what his allegiance is. So, like, can we marry another ethnic group and not allow their heritage and lineage to rewrite ours? Could we stay 10 toes down for our community if we're laying with someone else? That's what I want to know. Is foundational Black Americans able to be with another ethnic group without having to water down our history? Because while other groups can openly marry their own, we always get shamed. I always notice that we always get shamed. Like, we cannot have unity amongst each other because it is a threat to everyone. So every time, foundational Black Americans say, I don't date nobody, but, Black Americans, they tell us, oh, you're divisive, y'all racist, love is love. But see, the dominant society, they send bed wenches to convince Black women, to date outside their race, specifically white men. They send white women after the Black men. And then they use these tethers to start these gender wars. So that's a question before I go down this rabbit hole for the family. Could you truly be 100% 10 toes down for your lineage if you're laying down with another ethnic group? Because, whoever you laying with, that's who you have your allegiance with. And, basically, you could, of course, naturally, no matter what their ethnic, group is. So could we truly be 100% and not allow our non-FBA spouse to water down our lineage? Is that possible? That's what I wanted to ask.
The crazy thing is that a lot of people miss that whole part with James Smalls. A lot of people miss that part. James Smalls is married to a I'll be honest with you, family. I think that is a Caribbean Latino, to be real. And y'all got to watch when these people start talking about I'm with somebody from the Caribbean. Really, a lot of times those Caribbean folks be the Latinos and whatnot. And James Smalls threw that in there. So you got to understand, family, the reason why a lot of these people are upset, these scam Africans, they really upset, family, is because a lot of these people are tapped in with non-foundational Black Americans. So they looking at that spouse next to him, and that spouse ain't one of us. And then they start getting all emotional and all angry about it. See, delineation has ruined everything for everybody except for us. All right, everything. It doesn't matter. You pick it, and foundational Black Americans have destroyed them based on this. Deportation, going home, who these people be laid up with, talking all that talk. We have put it into all that because we made the block hot. Because simply, fam, these individuals who came into our spaces, none of that stuff worked for us. All right. And this is how they infiltrate. Like my sister just said, 9 times out of 10, the ops that came into the community, they came in riding one of those waves. They was on one of them damn surfboards, fam, and they just rolled right on into the community. And that's exactly what James Smalls was on. And out of all the things that he was saying and all the things he was talking about, that to me was the key factor that stood out. It stood out, not to mention that he's got a record of kicking it with some people who are known FBI, CIA assets, but that's a whole nother issue, family. But what it is that the paperwork is dirt, and the paperwork is dirt on a lot of these people. So when we sit back and we examine individuals' paperwork, they paperwork ain't adding up. And remember this, fam, it's also who you roll with. Tethers of a feather gonna flock together. They all got these little hidden things, fam. Trust me, it's far deeper than just the nonsense that they tell us. All that stuff about y'all being divisive and y'all a hate group, all that is a front for something else. All that is a cop-out for things that they trying to hide, because they not going to get out there. You think James Smalls is going to get on there and say, hey, my wife is Caribbean and y'all messing up her and her people? He ain't going to say that. So he gonna say little things like the CIA and the FBI and all that kind of stuff. That's what he's gonna do. And it's the same thing going on right now with the Somalis. Look at the Somalis, fam. They're not gonna come out and be like, yo, we was real disrespectful to FBA and we was sitting there trying to mooch off y'all. Have y'all seen one press conference where somebody came out and just admitted that they was mooching off us? Y'all seen one of them? I ain't seen none. Because these people ain't got no backbone in the first place. Don't ever expect somebody that's never had pride in themselves to have some type of backbone when they're dealing with you. It's non-existent. And this is why we don't mix with these individuals. You're dealing with folks who are about pride, foundational Black Americans. And then you're dealing with people who love to lie. Everybody else. And you can't put both of those together in the same time, in the same space. You end up with results that just don't work for us. And ain't nobody gonna punk us neither. You ain't gonna punk foundational Black Americans into following whatever the hell you want us to follow. That ain't how the game is played. You're gonna be quiet, you're gonna sit down, you're gonna do what we tell you to do. And if not, then your ass is gonna get that G check. And apparently now you're getting checked in a lot of ways. They checking the visas, they checking all of your statuses, they checking your temporary services, and they thought temporary meant permanent. How are you gonna get mad that something temporary done ran out? They sitting there trying to blame that on Donald Trump. No, your ass got to go because you was here on temporary, and it all got checked and it all got lined up and boom. And what the world is dealing with now, y'all, to be honest with you, is the fact that the lineage that they hate so damn much has so much more power than they got. That's really what it is. Foundational Black Americans, we got the power to send these people home. We got the power to expose these people. All that belong to us. They ain't got a goddamn thing. So now they got to deal with the fact that everything that we out here doing, we can get them people out of here. That little prophecy, I can control your prophecy. Your prophecy you think is America. And by the way, if the damn prophecy told you you belong in America, why the hell did the prophecy pick Minnesota? Somebody tell me that. Like, it didn't pick Los Angeles, New York, or Atlanta, Miami. Miami's beautiful right now. It's about 85 degrees in Miami right now. You can get whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? It picked Minnesota. I know you lying. I know you lying when you say that one. But we got the right and the power to ruin all of the lies that you come up with. If y'all look at it, think about the last 5 years and think about the billion lies you've heard in the last 5 years. Have we not knocked down every one of them, y'all? Has one of them worked at all? Ain't none of that stuff worked. Every single lie that they've told just ain't got off the ground. So now the frustration is setting in. Now they pointing the finger. Now they blaming each other. Now they talking about taking each other to court, all types of madness. I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction, fam. In the next, I'd say 6 months. I used to say year, but this stuff is moving so fast, even I got to update the timetable. I'm going to tell you in about the next 6 months, fam, you're going to see a massive story about two tethers who probably unalived each other. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be, they don't want to go home. Don't get it twisted, y'all. You're going to see tether from Homeland A and tether from Homeland B, and they had some type of conflict, and one of them ended up not making it, or maybe both of them. Tell you now. That is going to happen because these folks are facing the fact that the homeland is calling. They don't want to go home and they're turning on each other, pointing the finger. That is the exact recipe for exactly what I'm saying. The fact that these people have nothing left but a crash out. And I'm going to sit back and enjoy the crash out. Fam, the train wreck is coming. So all you got to do is just sit back and watch the train wreck and enjoy the show. Go ahead, Natural.
I just wanted to say that, and I'm pretty sure we all know there is a reason why there's a collective agenda to stop Black unity. The dominant society does not like us acting like a cohesive, directive, self-loving group. Why? Because unity amongst us, meaning staying married to other or being with other foundational Black Americans, that means economic leverage, voting blocks, community wealth, culture control, stronger family ties, basically unified political agendas. They do not like that. So when I'm talking and I'm thinking about backdoor, I don't care what nobody say, oh, that's racist. That's what people do when they put on us and make us feel bad for wanting to date our own, but everyone else practice dating and marrying within their own lineage. Every other group, they tell their children to preserve their lineage, marry within, protect their culture, and keep the wealth within. When we want to just love on ourselves and just marry within, there's a problem. They say that we're racist. This is social engineering to break our lineage. basically when we marry outside our lineage, our culture gets watered down and we lose unified identity. And that's why we probably, without you, Alpha, we would have never knew what James Small's wife is. Me personally, my own personal opinion, I don't believe that we could lay down with another ethnic group and be 100% for foundational Black American specific needs. I don't know if anyone else believes so, but does anyone else have anything to say before I go on?
I'm going to say this, family. I don't think that's possible because they're going to be sitting there and start advocating for these individuals coming to. What's the biggest form of advocating for somebody coming to the United States of America? It's going to be a family member. That's why they be sitting there mad. You ain't dealing with nothing but 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 generations. Nah, they going to sit there, to your point, they going to sit there and be like, well, my wife got to come. You think somebody going to be married to a tether and not want that tether's family to come to the United States? You know what I'm saying? They're going to say, nah, come on in, bring them all in. Everybody got to come. It's a family affair. That's literally how this stuff happens. Let's be honest, y'all. Let's be real. It starts off with somebody saying, my wife or my husband is a foreigner. And then next thing you know, they bring on the whole damn cavalry. Everybody starts coming in. And this is how you know, because they start getting mad at us. They start getting mad at Black Americans because we don't get behind it. I would say a good portion more than what people know about these individuals who come to the United States of America and disrespect us. It be they tether and laws. Okay, you got to think about the tethering laws, y'all. All right, don't just look at these dusty musties, fam. The tethering laws are out there, and the tethering laws are very serious because remember, immigration ain't just a onesie and twosie. Very rare that somebody onesie and twosie this thing. They want everybody to come. This is why you have family. That's why Tom Homan said a family deported together stays together. He wasn't talking about individuals. No, the whole family thing, there's a hustle and a scam in that as well. This is why, as we know, when they did studies with a lot of these children who come here from these different countries, those children aren't even related to the individual who showed up at the border with them. Okay, but they were using the scam of a family affair. We all one big family. I'm telling y'all, when y'all see these Africans and these Jamaicans and these Haitians, y'all see these Mexicans who come to the United States of America and they be in these flocks, them don't even be family members, y'all. They're using the family scam to get in here because they want to ring on your emotions and make it look like we're one big family who came here and we're going to be peaceful and work together. How many videos y'all seen and it be somebody crying, talking about, my husband got deported and he has to go home. How many times y'all seen that? I done showed on my broadcast hundreds of them. That's all they do. They always talk that my husband left. He got deported. He was good. And by the way, y'all notice every time somebody gets deported, like a wife or a husband, there's always some type of like medical issue with them. Y'all ever notice that? It's always like he needs his medicine. Something's wrong with him. He needs help. There's always something wrong with these people. They have fake seizures and fall on the ground. Now they faking hospital stays, anything to get to the United States of America. So to my sister's point, these folks who be laying up with these tethers, they be wanting them tethers to bring their family over, y'all. And then they're going to end up having them second, third, fourth, fifth generation people. That's the way they want to play the game. And we got to understand this in all elements and not just overlook them, because when you start overlooking them over here, it may be that. Over there, it may be something different. So we watching all of them. I don't give a damn. You come over here with a 2-year-old. 2-year-old got to go. All right. Well, I told you, you're going to delineate all the way. Does Donald Trump and Tom Homan deport all the way? If they deporting all the way, I ain't seen them say there's an age limit to it. Hell no. If the 2-year-old come over here, then the 2-year-old got to go. Simple as that. There's nothing wrong with that, fam. When something bad happens to a foundational Black American child, I don't see these people sitting there saying, oh, he was a kid. I don't see that. It be them same damn tethers sitting there with no type of remorse for what goes on with us. You think if something happened to a Black American child, any of these damn tethers that want you to be sympathetic towards their child, do you think they would say anything positive towards you if something happened to one of your youngins? No. And the things that happen to us are like very, very serious things. For them, it's just simple deportation. So they got no sympathy for what happens to us when our children deal with anti-Black racism and get harmed. But they want us to have sympathy for them going home and simply getting deported out of a country that they ain't got no business being in the first place. Hell no. Laying up with a tether is a telltale sign that you are a tether sympathizer. And that's another term that needs to be inserted into the lexicon, y'all. Tether sympathizers, because there's a lot of them out there. Y'all remember how many people right here on this app that was teaming up with Mona Leo just because they don't like FBA. Well, I'm telling you, be careful. All these people talk that stuff. Fam, for the right price, these people will defend a tether over a foundational Black America. I had a dude that was stalking me. He was writing me just because I said Wale was a tether. This man done follow me on all social media accounts. thinking that he was going to get me to come up off that or something. And he claimed to be a black American, which he wasn't. But you see right there that these people will break their back for these tethers, and they won't do the same for FBA, which to me, that is a clear violation of code, mean your ass is disqualified and your ass got to run on out the door. Go ahead, my sister Natural, and then Scooby's mom.
That's why you, my brother, you got way ahead of me, because I'm damn sure going to be talking about these non-foundational Black American in-laws that they backdoor into our lineage, and why we don't have to feel guilty about group economics within our own. Because when we marry within, our money stays in our community, our assets stay in our community, our inheritance stay in our community. When we marry within foundational Black Americans, we can build multi-generational wealth for our children. So just a prime example, and I'm a Kobe fan, but Kobe married a Hispanic. His daughter, she's half and half Hispanic. She is now dating a white boy. So what happens to that inheritance? That's what happens. So the dominant society has always targeted us and our nuclear family through slavery, Jim Crow, mass incarceration, government subsidies to remove the Black man out the home. It's time that, we get to these group economics and stop feeling guilty when we say we just want to be with each other. It's not racist for us to be with each other. Every other group practices, every other group preserve their lineage and their culture except us. We're the only ones that's expected to take everybody else's trash. It's time that we start practicing group economics, because we're the only group that gets scrutinized about just wanting to date our own race. Everyone else dates within their race and no one says nothing. They practice group economics. No one says that they're divisive, racist, only when it's us. So there's no reason for us to be feeling guilty about this, but I damn sure am going to go on about how they backdoor their non-FBA in-laws into our lineage. But go ahead, and Scooby's mom.
Hey everybody, peace to the whole room, all my FBA fam. So I just wanted to add to that. I agree, absolutely, both of y'all. My family, we've got experiences with all that stuff. That's why I try to tell my son, don't let your legacy go to someone else, because it's going to go right back to their community. We lose out on that. I have a couple of cousins. I have one cousin who got married, he had been with Black women first, and then he ended up married. His last wife was a white woman. I had to find out that he passed away through the company that I was working for. My mom was like, "Oh, he has an account. We haven't heard from him in some years, because periodically we would hear from him and we hadn't heard anything from him." And they have 2 kids together. One of his sons, I think, did have like a Black baby mama. The other one, I think, might have been dating white girls, and they're mixed. So, I get it. They're going to eventually dilute the lineage. So, I had to find out that he passed away through looking up his information. And I was like, what the hell? Why does it say deceased? So I asked my mom, I was like, it says it says deceased. And she was trying to call around and find out. And then we ended up calling Texas to his, his main family, his like real family, not the marriage, not his wife. And we found out that way that he had passed away some years ago, before I had found out. And this bitch didn't, excuse my language. She didn't tell us, white woman. She didn't tell nobody. And when my mom finally got in touch with her, her excuse was that, he didn't want nobody to know that he was sick. Excuse me, he's on his deathbed. You couldn't call us and tell us to come say our goodbyes. I mean, I don't think he's going to care now. So, and of course anything he had, I'm sure she has. She's now dating a white man. So she done whatever she got, she done took back to her people. I have another cousin who loves only Filipinos. He has gone to the Philippines twice to get his wife. Got mixed kids. One of my cousins was like, he was hanging with some friends. Whenever he comes through the family functions, he's mixed, but I guess a lot of his friends didn't know he was Black. So they was like, what you got all them Black people in your pictures for? He was like, 'cause I'm Black. That's my family. They was like, what? I was like, wow, this is crazy. So he's had to kick one of his first wife before she passed away. He was with her the longest, and we all accepted her. We love her and everything. But when she passed away, he ended up having to kick her he had bought some property in the Philippines. He had to kick her family out because they weren't paying no rent in his place to him. They trashed, they tore the place up, wasn't taking care of nothing. So he had to put them out. And then, of course, I don't know why he didn't learn his lesson. He done flew his ass back out there and got him another one. But, and I mean, I'm not trying to down them. We met them. They're part of the family now. We're like, okay, it is what it is. But, you know, it's just a shame how, you know, these people, how it's like you don't realize what you're doing when you connect with another race or with another, you know, lineage. It's not, and 9 times out of 10, you're not taking nothing from them. They're taking from you. They're taking from us. They're taking from our lineage. One of the other things I wanted to touch on with Black Alpha was talking about how they sit up there doing all that crying when they get deported and all that stuff. And it's always something medical. Well, I was told by somebody else that likes to go to some, you know, likes to travel a lot, that these other countries, you can get medications over the counter that you have to have a prescription for here. And the medications are cheaper. So no, I'm not buying that. You crying that you need your drugs because yours cheaper over there. And if you was over here making money, and you got money and you're sending that money to your country, get your ass over there and go buy your medications. I don't feel sorry for none of these people. Take your kids with you. Every time I see that mess on the news with them talking about they trying to make somebody feel sorry for, they always want to throw the kids. And you're right. They don't care nothing about our kids. There's something that happened to our kids. They don't care. They probably want to look at it like, oh, these black kids, they some badass kids. No, we have good kids. We raise our kids. You know, we discipline our kids. We don't play around. If we got to whoop our kids, we're going to whoop them. We don't do that little timeout shit. We're going to teach our kids lessons to learn because we're preparing them for the real world, because we know when they get out in the real world don't love you. So when they be sitting up there doing all that crying about these kids, take them with you. Whenever I hear these people on here that come in our spaces and they act like they confused about their lineage, and I was born here. First thing comes to my mind, blame your parents. Blame your parents. They brought your ass over here. If you're confused about where you fit in or don't fit in, that's not our fault. That's not our problem. Because your parents brought you over here and then sat there and set you up for failure because they told you not to be with us, not to talk to us, not to hang with us, not to have any type of respect for us, to go be over there with them white tea people. So take your ass over there and go cry your crocodile tears to them, because we do not care. I'm sorry, we just don't. I do have some more things that I may want to talk about, but I want to let somebody else get up who wants to speak. So if it's okay if I stay on as a speaker, and then eventually, when more people start wanting to come up, if it starts to get too crowded, I will drop off, if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, School's mom. And just to let you know, that's so crazy. I spoke to a woman today that she travels, and she told me over there in those countries, they don't even have to get prescribed by their doctor. They just go over the counter and get their medications, and it's nothing like this. So yeah, ain't nobody trying to hear none of that nonsense that they're talking about. But what I wanted to say is that because we are fighting for specific needs like reparations, our justice claims, economic empowerment, anti-black crime bills, when you date outside your race, you're going to always see both sides naturally. You know, whoever you land down with, you're going to see both sides. So are you going to really be advocating for your lineage 100%? I doubt highly. And we can just see the people that we see that lay down with other people outside of their lineage. We see what happens. So I'm pretty sure, and Black Alpha spoke about this also, and I don't know if you guys seen it. Let me tell you something. These people know that we're about to come into our economic power. And what I see, and I know you guys seen it, it was like a month ago, these African women telling other African women to start marrying foundational Black American men. I seen some African men on a YouTube. I was in the chat, and he was telling other fellow Africans to get with as many foundational Black Americans as possible and get them all pregnant. Yeah, that was in a chat. So Listen, these people are trying to backdoor into our lineage. I see it all. I see online. I'm pretty sure you guys see this. You see these white women, they choosing heavy. You got the white women choosing heavy. You got, I had 5 white men talking about they need a black queen. Not me. Not me ever. So, they are trying to backdoor into our lineage. And this is why we don't need to be feeling guilty about wanting to just practice group economics and just be with our own, because guess who all do it? They teach to marry within to protect their lineage. We the only ones that don't. We the only ones that take everybody else trash. They use marriage as a tool to protect their collective interests. So when 2 people of the same lineage marry, you're going to share the same language, the same values, same history, same worldviews, same traditions. And it just creates a cultural stability. I know people are going to date whoever they're going to date, but we're going to get those reparations. I'm sorry for those who don't think that we are. And we really need to start thinking about group economics and how these people are trying to backdoor. We're supposed to be trying to build generational wealth, not give it away. When you are dating these outside ethnic groups, we already know the disdain they have for us. We already know they're trying to backdoor, bring their in-laws, all their family members into our lineage, and there it goes all over again. So that was another point I wanted to speak on, unless Black Alpha, you have anything to say or add?
Man, first off, y'all cooking with all them points. Also, somebody wants to come up. I think the requests are acting real strange. So just DM me or Natural, and we'll just send you a link, and the link should work in the DM because it's acting real janky. I can't see nobody's anything. Shout out to y'all sisters.
Yeah,
let me say this.
It's definitely acting janky. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was like, what the hell? Yeah, it's acting real janky. Let me say this as well. My sister Scoop made a good point. When these people come over here and they try to get in on our lineage, you got to remember, y'all, there's going to be a few ways to get in on lineage. And one of the main ones is through marriage. That's one of the main plays that people use to get in on the lineage. That's an old hustle. That's old. Dominant society been doing that for years. So the tethers are doing what good tethers do. They're just duplicating and mimicking that. And our sister made a point. These people don't provide nothing to us. You ever notice the stories are always about our heritage going to them, and it's never about anything they do coming to us? I can't sit here off the top of my head and tell you one story of a Black American who got entangled with somebody who's a non-Black American and gained anything from it. Not a damn penny. But I can sit here off the top of my head and tell you pretty much all the brothers end up giving these people all the damn finances because we built things up. That's why. That's your answer right there, family. You ain't got to search for it. We build things. Therefore, people getting with us benefits them. And they haven't done a damn thing. So you get nothing in return. That's exactly why these individuals are on that type of hustle, because they know if you want something, go to the people who built something. They don't see that when they look in the mirror. They only see that when they look towards us. So this is why you're seeing that scam right there. And you're right. I'm so glad you brought that up, Natural. That little African lady that been on TikTok. First off, she was running around for a few months. If you follow these people, just go look at their videos. And every month they'll have a new hustle. Every month. 1 month it'll be this. The next one will be that. Then it'll be something else after that. Her hustle, this little African scam, Mrs. Fufu, the 33rd. She was running around during all of the African boycotts, and she was talking that talk about how Black Americans have worked so hard, and her fellow Africans, I believe she's Nigerian, she was saying how they need to be nice to Black Americans. That's what they do, y'all. There's always one who pretends to be the voice of reason. Well, you know, we need to be nice to Black folks. They built so much. They're good. They're only saying that so they can soften you up, and then they can slide in with their BS. So she was on that whole game of everybody needs to respect us. We need to be friends. Y'all treat Black Americans bad. And then about a month ago, she turns out on some, y'all need to all go marry Black American men. You see what I'm talking about? That's right there what I'm talking about. These people are using marriage as means and mechanisms to get here to the United States of America. It's an old thing. Anybody who's ever traveled outside this country, there was an old thing people used to say back in the day. They said, don't you ever deal with none of these women because all they want is a green card. Remember, y'all, getting a green card through marriage, that's one of the oldest hustles from shit. You can go back to the, 50s, 60s. They've been doing that. That's an old one. That's one of the oldest scams that people can come up with. And now if you watch, tethers are starting to amplify that because now deportations are being amplified. So you're going to start seeing way more of those going on. And this is why you got to watch people like James Smalls. James Smalls is somebody who fits the bill of exactly what we're talking about. James Smalls is an individual who's married to a tether. And I'm telling you right now, he don't like delineation because delineation is threatening his tether in-laws. His wife or her family can't come here. All that is threatened based on delineation. So this is why you got to watch the marriage scams, y'all. Watch the marriage scams because the tethers have been doing that for the longest time. Okay. How many times do you see the video with the big 357-pound woman from Connecticut and she's out there talking about she's going to get married to a Nigerian guy? You know, that Nigerian dude just trying to come here. That's it. And now they're realizing, well, let me go pull that on a black American. So they're trying to use that now. This is why you're seeing more and more videos of these Africans popping up, trying their hardest to get some type of interlineage dating so they can come over here, get a pass, bring their family members over and sit right down next to black Americans and start talking that we stuff. Ain't no damn we. Because fam, the days of them walking across the border and just showing up and saying, hey, I'm here now, accept me. That ain't really working right now. So marriage is the old new scam that they're going to try to bring back to the forefront. And we ain't having that either. Because be honest with you, y'all, black American women don't F for no goddamn African men. Let's be real. Okay. And certified black American brothers don't rock with no damn African woman. All right. Let's just be real. I don't want foo-foo for dinner. All right. I'm just being honest. Joe Loft, you can keep it. All right. We don't do the bush meat. So all right, we're not going to have a bush meat dating scene. All right. It ain't going to be a lemonade with bush meat. All right. I don't want dinner on Sunday to be a big ass raccoon or honey badger on my table. It's just not happening, y'all. All right. With fried whiskers. All right. I don't do camel ankles. I don't do zebra tails. So keep all of that over there. And they're going to find out, just like they're finding out right now and everything, is that black Americans don't rock with them. Go ahead, Nat.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you be in my head all the time. And Scooby's mom. So when we mix with these other ethnic groups, I'm going to keep saying it. I don't care who go, naturally, she racist, she divisive. I don't care. So when we mix with them, what we do is we give the children that they have with half foundational black Americans legitimacy. So we give them legitimacy to talk in our spaces, get in Congress, and I done seen so many that says they was half foundational black Americans, and guess what they did? They still spoke against our reparations. They still spoke against reparations. So the reason why it's a problem, because as Alpha and Scooby's mom said, these non-foundational black American family members, they get a pathway to benefit off of our struggles and accomplishments through marriage, parenting, grandchildren, social ties, policy claims. It's very dangerous for us to intermix with these people because of this. Not because people say, oh, love is love. No, because when we date outside of our lineage, we give them credibility, proximity, access, protection, social capital to shit they didn't own. And that's their family members that's non-foundational. So, when your spouse isn't a foundational black American, that wealth is going to move to their family tree. That wealth is going to completely leave the community when you date outside of your lineage. So go ahead, Scooby's mom.
Yep, I agree with all that. While y'all been talking, I've been sitting here getting all these little ideas and writing stuff down on my little Post-it notes because I'm working at the same time. So I'm kind of sort of multitasking. But one of the things I was going to say, when Black Alpha says sisters don't like messing with no Africans, you ain't never lied. Them accents drive me. I can't stand them. That's so freaking annoying. I'm like, No, I'm not trying to hear you. I'm not trying to decipher what you're saying. I don't want to talk to somebody that I need a translator. And then I was going to say, what about those women you see like on some of these shows, right? And then they end up, I don't know the names of these people because I don't watch these shows, these Real Housewives shows, but it'll be somebody that you hear about later and like, oh yeah, she married this African dude and he supposedly had all this money and turned out this fool was scamming, was broke, didn't have nothing. Look at, what's her name? The Braxton chick, Tamar, was that it? The white dude, and found out he didn't have nothing, but she wanted to be with a white man. let me see what else. And then the fact that these people are they're trying to get married. I feel like they were hating. They were hating on us so bad, and now they done flipped the script. It's like, you can't beat them, join them. So they're like, oh, that didn't work, nigga. So now they're like, well, I guess we better try to marry some or get some knocked up so we can get it. They're so desperate. They're trying anything they can to stay here. No, you can't. No, you can't. You can't come. You can't join them. You join us. You can't stay. None of that. I was looking at thinking too about that whole 90 Day Fiance. I did used to watch the 90 Day Fiance because I used to laugh at these idiots. That there was one, Michael, the Nigerian, and that fat Angela, and she finally, she tried for years. She dated this man, married him out there, tried to get him to come to America. He finally came, and I think I heard like 2 weeks after he got here, he left her ass. I'm like, duh, what did you think? Like, these people are so hopefully I can't wait for Trump to get them the hell out of here. I'm tired of the grifting. I'm tired of them, the hate. It's like I'm kind of losing my train of thought because I'm doing multiple things, but I will say this. Even I kind of my sons, it's unfortunate because, back in the 90s, everybody's Black, and my son's father, his dad is Puerto Rican and his mother is from Ghana. And it didn't occur to me until recently when I was able to put things together, until these past several years when I started learning about, oh, shoot, FBA. Oh, we got a movement. Finally, there's people out there who think the way I think. But when I started looking back on some of the stuff that I had went through in my relationship or just, dealing with her, I was like, oh, this shit. And then even her son, turned out to be, just like a female. I'm like, dude, you act like you're doing stuff to me that is things that a female would do to a guy. Like, why are you, he got custody of my son, sent him off to live with his brother and was taking welfare money. Like, the scam was epic. It was on a level I didn't even consider. And I'm just like, dude, I'm working a job. I got one source of income and yet I'm paying you. He done quit it. He quit the little quarter horse job he had, got on welfare. He was getting 4 sources of income. I don't know how he managed to put my son on Social Security. And my son a couple years ago called me and said, Mom, I got some paper talking about Social Security overpaid me. I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, yeah, they said something like I owe them some money. I said, oh, you need to find out what the hell your dad did. I said, that was a scam that fool did. And I know his mom was showing him what to do and putting him up to it. Matter of fact, she even was running a scam where she was supposedly helping people. And this triggered me because I heard about, I think it was a Somali that admitted to doing this, supposedly helping people find housing. She was doing one of them scams. She was supposed to have been trying to help me find a place, with a friend of mine. We were going to get a house together and with our kids, this was when I was in my 20s, my late 20s or whatever. And all she did was give us a list of a few houses to go look at. I was like, wait, what is this? I thought you were supposed to have been helping, doing all the, doing the legwork, doing the stuff. Thank God she didn't charge me for it, but I think she was scamming other people because, I was, her grandson's mother, but the level that these people scam on is just, I'm speechless. And I'm just like, get them all out. I have no freaking sympathy whatsoever for any of these people. None. I don't care who tries to get up there, because as far as I'm concerned, anybody that's coming up here trying to give you a sob story, they're lying. I just saw something recently. Right now, I can't think of it in my brain, but I just remember looking at it and going, he's lying. I don't believe him. I don't believe whatever it is that they're putting out here in the news and trying to get people to feel sorry for him. He's lying. I don't believe it. I'm not believing none of that shit. Because how are you going to be up in this country and you still got a thick ass accent and can't even speak the language? So guaranteed you didn't go and get, you probably don't have your green card. I know you ain't got no citizenship because you have to know the language in order to do it. You have to be able to read it in order to even have all that stuff. So you don't have it. So guaranteed they're illegal. Oh, it was some guy. He was he was living somewhere and they were feeling sorry for him because he was staying with some people. He had moved from Arizona to New Mexico, and then talking about, oh yeah, the bad ones, get him out, but I'm not a bad one. I'm a good guy. No, we don't know. You have no record. We don't know what you did out there. So I don't believe that you're a good guy. That's why you snuck your ass up over here. So yeah, I'm not buying none of that stuff. Get them all out. I'm sick of it. I'm fed up, but I do see blue skies ahead. I can feel it. I know, like you said, we gonna get some reparations. Oh, we gonna get them. And I ain't sharing with no freaking body. Get out my face.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Scooby's mom. And, Black Alpha, check your DM. So I just wanted to say, people could date whoever they want to date, but this is a serious problem, and these people are really trying to backdoor, and they not trying to backdoor for no reason, y'all. They not just trying to lay up with us, because remember, they be in their own enclaves. They practice group economics because they know we about to come into the coin. So trust me, their loyalty, whoever, if they're foundational Black American and they're sleeping with someone outside their lineage, their loyalty is always going to be who they're laying with. That's just the bottom line. So understand, when these elections come around, I can see them now because they've been listening to us, they scrubbing these people background. So they've been trying to listen to our talking points. I can bet you that they're going to put a foundational Black American around us, but understand, your spouse is going to be from another lineage. They're going to be from another lineage, and they're going to be pushing their spouse agenda, but they're going to put a foundational Black American in front of us. So I'm just going to ask the question again. I'm not going to keep beating y'all in the head, but can a foundational Black American be with a different ethnic group without allowing that other ethnic group to push us to Pan-Africanism, downplay our lineage, undermine our reparations, push immigrant politics? Can we honestly be with another ethnic group without them trying to push Pan-Africanism or have us water down what our specific needs are? Again, I said my personal opinion, it can't be done because we can't truly stay grassroots without being compromised by our spouse. I don't see it happening. You there, Black Alpha? What do you think?
No, I'm with you 110% on that one. Wholeheartedly, bottom line, it is what it is. And anybody out there who's saying anything other than they can kick rocks, because it's clear as day. We know what it is. It's clear as day. We've seen it before. And what people don't understand is we got a long history of dealing with these people trying to backdoor us, trying to make it look like all is kosher and it really ain't. That type of game is trash. And when you start speaking about this, let me go ahead and read y'all something that just came across my timeline. And it ties exactly into what we're speaking about right now. This Omar, the Somalian lady, and she's doing an interview with Joyless Reed, who's been fired 15 times. Okay, let me read y'all what she said. So this is going to hammer home the point of what we're talking about, or why you do not mix energy with these people, because they all have a hidden agenda. She tells Joyless Reed, Omar, she says this. She says, those of us who are Somali in this country see ourselves as Americans. That's what our passport says. That's what our nationality is. We know we are protected by the 14th Amendment. We are not going anywhere. As Somalians, we are never intimidated. We are never going to feel like our confidence is shaken by a bigoted fool making a mockery of the White House. End quote. Brothers and sisters, you heard it like I heard it. You see what I'm talking about? First off, good luck with that whole 14th Amendment thing, because that's been clear. They just don't get the picture. Okay, get it through your enormous head that you are not protected by the 14th Amendment. You are not one of us, and you are not an American. And if your passport is the only thing you can point to, then that only further confirms that these individuals ain't nowhere near FBA. And if you let them slip, they're going to slide that in right there. You see what we talk about these tethers, y'all? They sitting here pointing to laws and policies that are for foundational Black Americans, and they're trying to basically make it look like it's all theirs. It's all them. This is why when Donald Trump came out and he kept talking about the 14th Amendment and the babies of slaves, foundational Black Americans was certified saluting it. Okay, not certified saluting him, certified saluting what he said, because we've been saying it and it's a fact. But look right now. They out here trying to weasel their way in using foundational Black American legislation, using policies that are meant for us, using marriages, dating, or anything. Fam, they want every single aspect to allow them to gain access to our country and to stay here. You ain't gonna come here, tell me that we all Black and we all the same, and the only thing you can point to is a passport. Fam, I'm sure all of us can point to way more things than a damn passport. All right. A passport is not good enough. And this is why we need to completely separate and regulate away from these people. And delineation is whooping them down the block, around the corner, and up the street. Is because these are some passport hoes. All right. These are passport hoes trying to make it look like they're somehow tied into Black Americans. Fam, this is the personification of a dusty ass tether. And that's exactly what she is. And that's why Donald Trump going in on her has my full support, because they are talking reckless about foundational Black Americans. They are disrespecting what we've been through. And at the same exact time, they're only using it to stay. Notice, y'all, she don't ever bring up anything about Black Americans. Never. She don't bring up nothing about Black Americans. The only time she wants to start talking about Black Americans in the 14th Amendment is when it benefits her. It's the same exact thing they all do. Whenever it is beneficial to them, then they start reeling out all these things that they weren't even here to see implemented. Foundational Black Americans, we put forth all of that. This is why I tell people all the time, don't let somebody tell you that Black Americans fought for these people to come here. No. We fought for ourselves, and it was exploited to bring these people here. Remember that, y'all. If you go to Detroit, and you start talking about the brothers and sisters in Detroit during the civil rights era, and you interviewed any of them, they ain't gonna say, oh, I'm doing this for Kenya or Ghana. They're not gonna say that. What it was is the rights and the laws that we fought for ourselves were taking out of context and handed away to all of these other individuals. The same exact way that they want to take the reparations and hand it out to all of these individuals. That's what it's really about. All of that intermixing with these people, it's really about your reparations. Remember, fam, you go out there and you lay up with a tether and you reproduce with a tether. That reproduced tether, baby, is going to end up saying, well, I deserve reparations. I'm half a third of a fifth FBA. And then they're going to start bringing up the 14th Amendment and everything. Everything that we do for ourselves is always taken out of context to benefit other individuals who, quite frankly, don't give a damn about us. How come they don't ever bring up anything from some other community? How come? You don't ever hear these people bring up nobody else. Why? Is because Black Americans have been the cornerstone for immigrants and migrants. They don't ever bring up anybody. Isn't it funny, y'all? These people run around here and talk about how they're the indigenous people, but nobody uses them as a catalyst to come to America. Don't they by default admit to us that we're the true indigenous people? Everybody want to tell us we ain't the indigenous people. We came later and all these things. Then how come they don't use all them other people to get policies passed to come to America? You only can use somebody as a cornerstone to gain access if them individuals are indigenous. Last time I checked, everybody wants to pile in to all the laws that we created, all the civil rights, all the fighting, all the resistance. They always want to use us as some type of means and prop to come into the United States of America. So that right there is them admitting that we are the true indigenous people, and we're not sharing that with anybody. She ain't no damn foundational Black American. The 14th Amendment does not protect you. Where the hell she done been? Well, I guess she been in bed with her brother. And it's funny, fam, we talking about not laying up with these tethers, and that's a tether laying up with another tether that just happens to be her brother. Damn. And by the way, we were the ones who first exposed that. Now you see Donald Trump done picked up on that, because Trump be sitting there listening. Shout out to you, Trump. I know you're listening right now. Trump be taking notes. All right. Or he getting advised every day by his foundational Black American spy advisor. All right. They got advisors, fam, and they be listening. They be listening very, very carefully, and they reporting back to Donald Trump, and they be giving our talking points to him. And then he does press conferences and he says exactly what we've been saying. Where the hell she been about this 14th Amendment? Where? Because it has been evidently clear that that ain't got nothing to do with no damn Somali. Fam, did she just sit there and say the 14th Amendment is for Somalians? Really? And do you see why we delineate and we don't give a damn? I don't care about your feelings. I don't care. Love is love. You can love the hell away from America. How about that one? Because I know the play. You ain't going to love is love your way into my lineage. I'm going to tell you that today. You can take Mrs. Fufu, Mr. Jollof, and y'all can have a big ass date somewhere in Somalia, but not right here in America. This is why you have to delineate on 110%, because these people have no backbone. They have no shame. They will sell out their mama to come over here and be a foundational Black American. And they can never be a foundational Black American because the only person who can be a foundational Black American is an indigenous foundational Black American. So all the extra things that they put on, those are just cop-outs, lies. And that's all they do. And that's the only thing they're good at. And now apparently they're not too good at that because they're getting deported. You're still going home. Don't sit here now and start talking about the 14th Amendment and being an American when Donald Trump said he's going to start running up on y'all Somalis. You ain't do nothing before. You ain't do a damn thing. You ain't mention us. You ain't passed one policy. This is the same woman who said that she writes policies for Somalians, but yet she wants to bring up policies for Black Americans to protect said Somalians. Get the hell out of my damn country. I say that as a full foundational Black American with the emphasis on American. Fam, don't let none of these people make it look like you don't have the right as an American to tell these people to get the hell out of here. You got all the rights, fam. If you could sit there and you could see a whole MAGA rally and they be talking about America, like it or leave it, you can say the same thing because you are more American than the damn MAGA folks. You got the right to tell these people, get the hell out of here. And that's what's messing everybody up. Nobody's used to Black Americans exercising patriotism, exercising American pride, exercising the strength that we have in this country. People ain't used to that. People ain't used to that, family. This is what's really whooping everybody up right now. This was really whooping everybody up. I told everybody the world now is becoming more ethnic lineage based, more nationality based. This whole global world, that ain't happening right now. We about to be 2026. Ain't nobody running around here talking about the whole world matters. You can go to Europe right now. What are they doing? They're separating themselves by lineage. Yes, indeed. I just seen a story about white people who came from Sweden to Germany, and the Germans want the white Swedish people to get the hell out because they're not indigenous to Germany. Okay, that's white on white right there. Same thing's going on in Africa. It's the same thing going on in Latin America. Mexicans are more anti-immigrant than Donald Trump is because everybody now is all about your lineage. That stuff where just one big race matters. No, that gets a little too convoluted for me. That get a little too convoluted for me. I was just listening to the great Tupac Shakur last night. Tupac Shakur, he said, you got to deal with people who are Black and not people who look Black. Because look Black, that'll come in 100 different definitions. What is it? What's your melanin count? They're going to come up with everything. I'm kind of Black, sort of Black, might be Black. Is your paperwork Black? Are you Black in your mind and your heart and your soul? No, then get the hell out of my goddamn country. You ain't no Black American. So the world now is becoming more based on lineage, which means we delineated at the right time. I'm telling y'all now, I'm gonna give y'all a little newsflash for folks who don't know. Let me put you on game real quick. All right, let Black Alpha, number one activist, put you on real game. Go ahead and be kicking that whole all world and everybody's just one big race of Black folks. Kick that right now. In the next 5 years, you're going down the drain. That's why Pan-Africans are going down the drain. They're running around here with a whole world ideology and a lineage nationality based future. The future is going to be lineage based. That's why white folks is running around here now talking about get out of America. Are you America? Fam, I seen a damn old white lady and she was sitting there saying, what's his heritage? What's his lineage? And she was talking about another white person. They sitting there listening to us, y'all. Everybody's talking about, by the way, how many times have you heard the word lineage since we started saying it? Nobody even said lineage back in the day. Nobody did. Nobody ran around. They were talking about racism. They was talking about some white and Black and all that. What I say, what race got to do with this, family? This is about lineage base. And we are on that right now to the maximum. And anybody who's talking something other than lineage is an op because it benefits them to focus on race. Because again, race is like Tupac said, looks Black. They want to give you things that got a billion different definitions so a billion different people can show up and get on the inside. Lineage is specific. Lineage, either you are or you not. That's why they always trying to say FBA is a hate group and FBA is this. Nah, what it really is that FBA is a lineage, and lineage is a far more airtight term than race. So we shutting all that down. You ain't no Black American. You ain't from here. And if all you can point to is that dusty ass passport, then you definitely ain't one of us. And by the way, don't talk to me about no passport if you ain't got a birth certificate. Go ahead, my sister Natural, then you can send it to Scooby's mom.
Oh yeah, and like this Ilhan Omar, you were brought into Congress for America, not Somalians. So the fact that she keeps trying to say she Black or she Black American, or they trying to ride off of our plight, you ain't done nothing for us. There's no policies written for us. Y'all ain't even split that welfare money y'all stole out there with us. So stop trying to use our plight You ain't gonna get away with it. Y'all getting up out of here. And I love watching the videos of them going door by door, picking them up, rounding all of them up. So it looks like for right now, they offer the Latinos, or, you know, they probably not showing that, but I noticed the Latinos trying to talk about Black Americans. They trying to be on our side now. The Haitians, the Africans, you still have the same tethers. And you would think with everything going on, them losing TPS, they getting them up out of here, that they would stop the trolling. They still, TikTok Palooza with these tethers is off the chain. That's why you can't feel sorry for them. These people, they still have that disdain. So you can't feel sorry when you see these little fake love story videos from them. They have that disdain. They just trying to use us, because if they didn't, they would get together collectively and tell their other fellow tethers, could you shut the hell up? Just shut up. You see what us, the denigrating foundation of Black Americans have gotten us? Will you shut up? But no, it's still all going. They're still on these platforms, still trolling. So I give no fuck here to children, newborn babies. Get them up out of here. I'm with Trump. Get the trash up out of here. Go ahead, Scooby's mom.
Oh yeah. You just reminded me about when you said that, not caring about the no little sob stories. That reminds me, and then, you know, about how they still talking mess. Like even that Ilhan Omar, whatever her damn name is, she like act like she's trying to stand 10 toes down. She talking to Trump, talking about she ain't going nowhere. Excuse me.
She crying in the car. She just trying to save face. She trying to save face to them other Somalians.
I can't wait to see her ass be going. Bye-bye. So I was going to say too, I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. No support to anybody. And like I think you guys were both saying before that they're going to try to stick or maybe it was Black Alpha said, they're going to try to stick a FBA in there, but watch who he married to. The way I see it, I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. I'm going to keep saying it. If they don't show their lineage, because I know they're trying to scrub their backgrounds, FBAs, we proud. Point blank period. We proud. We will show where we come from. So if nobody don't want to show where they come from, if they hide and when they be going into Tariq spaces and don't want to show their self on camera, I hate when they do that. I know this is kind of sidebar, but I hate when people get on there. It's like, you know, he gonna ask to show you then. Oh, it's late. I can't show my face. I'm like, you knew you was coming on and you know he gonna ask. So get your ass on the damn camera so we can see what you look like.
Scooby's mom. Okay.
Uh-huh.
What I was going to say is, because for some reason it wouldn't allow me to mute. What I was going to say is, they're going to put a foundational Black American. We're going to be able to see them. We're going to be able to see their lineage, but it's their spouse that is going to be a non-foundational Black American. See, because they already know that we're not playing those games. That's what they're going to do.
Oh. I was coming to that next. I was going to say they got to show proof of their spouse too. I'm sorry. I ain't got no mercy for them. I don't care if they trying to protect their spouse, but no, if you in the office, no, everybody, no, y'all not, no, we need to see everything. And if you trying to throw something in there, cause you're trying to throw a Sambo in there, we not going for that either. And then the other thing, like these people trying to be nice, or like somebody, I think you said that these, you know, Mexicans or Hispanics trying to come up there and act like they trying to be, and then even with that one African lady, now she trying to chastise some of them other Africans or Caribbeans. No, you can't switch up now. It's too late. Y'all had plenty of time to get in line. You did not. So the line you could get in is that line, that self-deport line, or get that line back on that plane is going to get you up out of here. You can't get in line with FBAs because we just not accepting it no more. Hell no. And then I was listening to also when he was talking about out there some of these other countries, I was like, damn, see, FBAs, we on it. We the number one, we the top. Everybody done got in line. Like, it's like, even, I was like, damn, even the Europeans is following our lead. Like, they're like, shoot, look at what these FBAs doing. That's what we should be doing. Let's get these people up out of here. Hell yeah. Like, I don't care what you're doing in other countries, but I know Tariq always says we the secret sauce. Yes, the hell we are. Yes, we are. We moving shit. We done got our shit together. Oh my God. I don't even look. And you know what? I don't even know what I said. I'm just so passionate right now. I apologize. So, I'm gonna go ahead and land my plane for now and let somebody else. I see Angelic on there, so y'all go ahead and speak. I'm gonna sit back for a while and listen until I got something else to say. I'm sorry. I love you guys.
Okay, I see Angelic because we're going to be ending the space at 7:30 in a few minutes. So go ahead, our beautiful sister Angelic.
Hi, how are you, Nestle Tura, Black Alpha, Queen Alpha, Scooby's mom, Chris the Rebel, Twizzle, our Foundation Black American Angel, Black Truth United, Stephanie Dews, and anybody else I could be missing in here. I don't know what happened, y'all. I was on my cell phone listening through the app on my phone, and then it was like, I'm like, okay, maybe I was going to see me. Then I got on my laptop, and then all of a sudden I was able to pop up into the space. But I wanted to chime in on what you said, Nashley Tura. This is the thing for me. I'm with you. I'm with you, and I'm with Black Alpha. I don't think people really can be on code when they have someone that is outside of the lineage. Now, I kind of feel a certain kind of, I feel a way for people who, when they were younger and they kind of fell for the okie doke, because when we were younger and we were, were around these people, we really weren't conscious and we really didn't know, like we are now, how detrimental these people are. And we had kids with them. Some of us that did. I mean, I never made that mistake, but I'm saying some of the people who they married them, had kids with them, whatever the case may be. But the thing about it is I don't think so. I really don't think so, because even if you look at like with James Small, when Black Alpha broke that story about, okay, so he's married to someone from the Caribbean. It just explains that they be talking real weird. It'll be somebody of the lineage. And then they start talking real weird about these people like, oh, well, we have to unite it. We're all together. And the black and brown, and you just hearing these talking points like, nah, I know they have the lineage. Why are they talking stupid like this? And then come to find out that they have kids with these people. They're in bed with these people, literally. So I really don't, I really have sympathy for people who they made that choice. And then now they're kind of tied to their decisions. But these people who are trying to convince us, I'm like, look, that's not the fact that you are with somebody that's not of the lineage and they're kind of pulling you like, look, you need to get on your people because they need to accept all of us. Oops, I got kicked out.
We can still hear you, Angelic. We can still hear you.
I'm sorry, did you all hear me?
Yes, we heard you.
Oh, okay.
Please don't come off mic.
It looked like it kind of kicked. It did something weird. I don't know what it did. But yeah, it's a personal problem to me. I just feel like it's a personal problem. I'm like, just because you made that decision, hey, the ones of us who we stick with the people of our lineage, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, but it's unfortunate. A lot of us have these people in our families, and like Scooby's mom talked about that too. Scooby's mom, I don't know if I say hello to you. We have these people intermingled into our families. And so, I'll just leave it there.
Thanks, Angelic. I just wanted to piggyback off of what Scooby's mom said about even their spouse. Like, yeah, how could you even, again, the loyalty is always going to be with who you land with. So even if they are foundational, I wouldn't trust that they're going to be fighting for our specific needs. So that was mainly the point I was trying to make, because we should be starting to practice group economics. And I can tell you again, yes, there's people out there. I've never made that mistake. Never would I dishonor my ancestors, but we need to be practicing group economics. We're about to come into our economic power, and this is a serious thought for people. You really need to, these people, they choosing heavy, and they're choosing for a reason. Not because, remember, we're the same thugs and baby mamas, and we don't know our daddies. We remember, we're those slaves. We're those same people, but these are the same people choosing us now. So you got to understand, why are they choosing? Why would they want to be with such a group if it wasn't beneficial to them? So you got to think about that when you're talking about you are ready to build generational wealth for your family, and also you're going going to be dating out. And I'm not even I'm just talking about all of them. The YT people, all of them outside of your lineage. You are at risk of passing that wealth down to their family. You are at risk of allowing them to backdoor all of their in-laws, all the non-foundational Black American family members. So that's what you're at risk at when you are dating and building, mixing with outside lineage. So I just wanted to say that. Did you have anything to say, Alpha? Because we're not going to be up here too long, so I don't want to bring new people up here if Black Alpha don't have anything to say.
Let me add one last element before we close this up. Y'all absolutely right, because I'm going to give another example of these politicians that did that play. Barack Obama. Okay, remember, Barack used to always be riding on the coattails of Michelle. Okay, and before Michelle went completely all lives matter and weirdo, a lot of Black folks liked Michelle more than Barack, and he was always emphasizing her in the South Side of Chicago. He got more out of Michelle than Michelle got out of him. Let's keep it real, y'all. Let's keep it real. And this is before she crashed out because she turned into a weirdo as well, whatever. But in the beginning, Black folks used to be like, yo, we rock with Michelle. Before, when Obama was kind of what? But look at him, a tether who ain't got no Black American in him at all. Okay, he comes from straight Mr. Mutombo and $2 Karen. And he would always emphasize that what Michelle Obama did in the South Side of Chicago was gave him Black American street cred. And trust me, he knew that. And he rolled that all the way to the presidency. Without Michelle Obama and her actually being a Black American, there would have been no Barack Obama. So we use that same exact play on all of them, whether it's the politician who's a tether, who's married to a tether, or it's the opposite. You still examine these people, watch who they're around. You ain't hanging with tethers all damn day and you down for delineation. And there's going to be a lot of people who going to come around and be like, I still want to delineate. I'm still on delineation. Where your wife from? Angola? Nah, you lying. My wife is from Port-au-Prince. Nah, you lying. Get the hell out of here. Kingston? Nah, you lying. So that's the next play, because what it really is they do it, then we get on it, we frame it, we check it, they try to spin it and flip it, and we still check it. So no matter where you go, no matter what you come up with, FBA on that ass. And the G-check is always about full respect. Go ahead, Scooby's mom, and then we're going to go ahead and close this thing up.
Okay, I apologize, you guys. This is one last thing I just wanted to say real quick. I didn't get a chance I kept forgetting the question, but in answer to Natural's question, I did post it in a little purple pill, but I said absolutely not. Even though, and then, to piggyback off of Angelic, saying about how I'm proud of you guys. You guys didn't make that mistake. Unfortunately, I did. It was not a long relationship. We were together. It didn't work out. I found out I was pregnant later. Because my simple beliefs, I don't believe in abortion. I kept my child, but, I knew not to make that mistake again. Of course, that was back then. I wasn't considering, because everybody's like, I was like, yeah, he's this. And it was like, oh, girl, he black. So, but yeah, I'm definitely, I don't agree that you can't straddle the fence. You can't be loyal to FBA and also loyal to another lineage. It just does not work. When it comes to deporting people, hell, if somebody was to say tomorrow that he's an anchor baby and my son's dad got to get deported, bye. And they ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't care. We separated. This is how it's going to have to be. My son don't have a relationship with his daddy anyway. But the point is, I'm all the way on the FBA train, and I ain't getting off. I'm not jumping off. I'm not stepping down. I'm not coming off I'm not opening the door. I'm not popping open the window so somebody can get in. Nope. This train is left the station. It's closed. It's FBA train. I am on it. And point blank period, simple as that. That's it. And I just wanted to go ahead and let you know that in answer to that question, I'm gonna say it again, absolutely not. It will not work. We can't do it.
Shout out to you, fam. Let me give y'all a little more news. Donald Trump just retweeted this about 35 minutes ago, and he retweeted what someone else said, but it echoes the sentiments of how Trump feels. It states, we have two options: deport every single third world migrant, illegal alien, and American hating visa holder, or surrender your nation the way the United Kingdom has and watch your society collapse in the coming years. Family, all I'm going to say to that is exactly the same thing we've been saying consistently over here on the FBA side of town. We tried to tell y'all. This little thing that these immigrants was coming to America and they was loving and they was so cool. Who knows more about an anti-American than foundational Black Americans? We see them all the time. Who knows more about illegals who mooch and steal more than foundational Black Americans? Because they always trying to steal from us. Now you're seeing that the dominant society has picked up on it and they running with it. So expect more policies, expect more laws, and expect more snatch out your house, out the church, out your job, drug down the street, thrown in a van, thrown in a plane, and you wake up and you back in your homeland. Expect more of those and expect more delineation and expect foundational Black Americans to always be the winners. And with that, I'm going to toss it to my sister, Natural. Sister, you can go ahead, drop them receipts and bring us home. Certified salute to all y'all. One love.
I'm going to keep it brief. I just wanted to tell the light bulb heads, please, we're not giving cover. We don't care how much y'all try to say y'all Black now, all the lies and delusional lies you tell. We're not going to run cover for you. And we want all of you tethers, not just the Somalians, all of you, the Nigerians, the Jamaicans, all of the ones that was been disrespecting us. And remember, don't be Black now. Be Nigerian. I'm not Black. Be Jamaican. I'm not Black. Be Somalian. Don't try to be Black now. We're not running cover for none of y'all. So don't try to jump over here now. And now y'all pointing the fingers at Somalians because y'all all the same. All of y'all. We're not running cover. We want y'all to keep that same TPS, pre-TPS energy. Let's keep it the same. Because we're still delineating. Nothing is changing. Nothing is changing. No capes is being put on. Our capes are indefinitely disabled.
Good point. There's a hell of a lot of contradictions and bigotry when you start dealing with tethers. See, one of the reasons why foundational Black Americans don't rock with these tethers is because we are the polar opposite in a lot of ways. Okay, you can come up with 3 million different ways. You know, you can start with we wear deodorant and they don't, and we have hairlines and they don't, but I'm not even going to be petty like that, y'all. Kinda, sort of. Let me take it to another one. FBA, we speak what we feel. We don't have contradictions. We don't sit there and throw rocks and hide our hands. We damn sure don't say somebody's being mean to me. I'm a grown ass man, okay? I don't necessarily feel no grown man need to be saying somebody else is being mean to him or a bully. I'm a grown man, and ever since I was a teenager, I ain't never said somebody's being mean to me. You know what happens when you are a grown man and you claim you got bullied? Where I'm from, that means you a pussy. Straight up and down. You can say bully all you want. Kids get bullied. Don't come to me as no grown ass man, Mr. Mutombo. This man is 6'5", all right? Ashy ass ankles, dark ass knuckles. But yet he out here talking about a Black American. Damn, a lot of times be a Black American woman. They be like, you was mean to me, Natural. I didn't like what you told me in that space. Now, if you don't sit your big Black ass down and quit complaining and worrying about who a bully is, Black Americans, we don't do that bully stuff. That ain't our thing. Okay, that's what the Mayos do. He was bullied in school, so he came back to the school and he dropped the principal and unloaded on the whole classroom. We don't do that stuff. And that's what tethers do, family. We're not these weak, backdoor, sneaky ass people. Their sneaky tactics, quite frankly, don't sit well with Black Americans. This is why we don't have a lot of respect for the way they approach us. Their main thing is to basically project onto us everything that they do amongst themselves. I show people all the time, if you look at what Black Americans say to them and what they say to us, you can't even compare. You can't. They call us racial slurs. We tell them to fix your homeland. Family, what's so damn wrong about telling somebody to fix their homeland? I didn't say blow up your homeland. I didn't say just go out and destroy everybody in your homeland. And by the way, that's what the W that you love so goddamn much does. He's the one. You need to be worrying about him. Again, y'all being sneaky and you being fake as hell, and Black Americans, we don't rock with that. We too real, fam. We created the term keeping it real. These MFers keep it fake as hell. We ain't on that kind of time. They get mad at us for telling them to fix their homeland. Last time I checked, that's advice. That's a good thing. Now, you need to be worrying about the dominant society because they're the ones saying that you live in a hole, and they the ones over there talking about invading Nigeria. And by the way, I'm still waiting on somebody to bring that up, these Pan-Africans. I just seen James Smalls talking about FBA. James Smalls, why aren't you talking about what's going on in Nigeria? And I'm talking about with your whole chest. I'm not talking about say it for about 2 minutes and then spend the rest of the time talking about FBA. I don't know how you've got a hyper focus on foundational black Americans while everything that's going on in Africa is going on in Africa. I ain't no damn Pan-African. I'm a certified foundational black American, 100. And I'm sitting here trying to give Africa more damn advice than the Pan-Africans are. They ain't talking about what's going on in Kenya, what's going on in Ghana. They're not talking about what's going on in Sudan. They're not talking about Nigeria. But let me tell you why they're not talking about Nigeria or any of those places I just listed. Because if they acknowledge everything that's going on over there, they'd also have to acknowledge the fact that about 50% of them want to go in the opposite direction as the other 50% of them. Meaning, some of them, fuck that. Matter of fact, let me keep it real. 80% of them want the white man to come over there and save them. And about 20% of them want to resist the white man. I ain't even gonna give you 50-50. 50-50 is giving them too much goddamn credit. I'm gonna keep it real. And this is why they don't ever bring that up. Fam, this is why Pan-Africans don't talk about Africa. Because if you talk about Africa, then you'd have to acknowledge the things you say about me are minuscule. And the things that you need to be talking about, as in them up still don't get along. They still fight each other. They still feuding, fussing. They teaming up with every W who shows up over there. Every time Yao Ming gets off the plane, you jumping on Yao Ming's back. I just seen 3 videos today where Yao Ming, who by the way is, matter of fact, not even Yao Ming, damn Jackie Chan, who's 5'2", was just whooping up on the whole damn construction site. Fam, I seen that video just yesterday. I seen the same exact video with 2 different people 6 years ago. So it's still going on. So why you ain't talking about that? That goes back to that bigotry that my brother Black Truth is just talking about. Y'all don't talk about what's going on in your homeland, because if you did talk about Africa, you'd have to admit that Africa still has tribalism to the maximum. Africa still is deporting other Africans. Fam, how the hell are Africans deporting other Africans? And they doing it cruel too. They out there just running up on folks, kicking them out. They telling you they xenophobic. So we're going to clean all of that up, and we're going to continue to clean it all the way up. And the best way to clean that up, family, is not to have an exchange, not to let them get a word in, not to let them talk. Is to say what the hell you want to say as a foundational black American. Keep it all the way live. And if people don't like it, too damn bad. I'm FBA and I say so. If you ain't a tether, you shouldn't have nothing to worry about. Them tethers be out there scared. They don't want us to do nothing. We be like, hey, shit, you should be good. If your background check out, it should be nice and good. So that lets you know. And there's a lot of those indicators and them telltale signs. That's why we call my sister Natural the tether detector, because they be coming in here.
Yeah. That's why I'll be like, why are you trying to hide? Why are you trying? I'll be telling, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. But I just want to throw that real quick before I land. I was just going to say, why are you trying to hide? So if you're trying to hide, you got a lot to hide, then you ain't one of us.
There they go. Nah, talk your talk. You already know you rocking with Black Alpha. Say as you want to say it, sister. That's the difference between us and everybody else. So yeah, we on that type of time where we don't give a damn. And foundational black Americans, we know who you are. And we can tell. There's a lot of them signs, fam, where you know when these individuals ain't like us, and we call them out in the process. Cause you know, I remember back in the old days when they used to tell everybody, y'all remember when they used to be like, proud first generation Jamaican, proud African, his African parents, his Jamaican parents. Remember they used to have that all the time. They don't do that no more. Now they realize delineation done showed up. So it is best for them to scrub all of those things on the internet. There's somebody right now on the internet scrubbing all of that stuff. So we got to watch these individuals, because these individuals are not like us, and they will do everything to try to infiltrate us. But we will proceed to go through the hands. Go ahead, my sister Natural, and then you can spin it too. I see my brother Church in here, Boykin, however you want to play the hands, but it's on you, sister.
Okay, I just wanted to keep it on this as well, because I'm just going to be dropping it, because again, I'm always having to address people telling me it's not that deep. So, you know, just with this this digital grifting that these Africans is doing, so they have this cultural rebranding and identity erasure of us. So that's when they, you know, they're going to eliminate all of our culture, relabel it as Pan-African Black culture or African culture instead of foundational Black American culture. That's what they're currently doing now. That's why I've been watching them. Then they got this replacement politics, and that's when these institutions or these platforms replace foundational Black American voices with these non-FBA immigrants to speak for us. As we see, that's what's going on right now. So, you know, they got these think tanks are hiring these Africans and these Caribbeans to be the voice for us. That's why we got to watch everything that's going on, because if Essence would not have gotten exposed, Like I can't even imagine, because you know they out here trying to reshape our reparations into a Pan-African reparations. Like I can't even imagine if that wouldn't have kicked off with us, exposing Essence. So like it's a bunch of stuff going on behind the scenes with these African grifters and how they are making this money off our back and how they're trying to reshape our reparations and make it a Pan-African reparations movement. This is why I've been watching the asses. So go ahead, Church.
Already.
Go ahead,
Man.
Boykin.
Yeah, go ahead, sister.
Hi, good afternoon, Black Alpha. Good afternoon, Natural. Hey, Rose City, Church, Eric, Chris, Nana, everybody in the room. Listen, you know what? I'm having to move from where I am because I'm tired of these damn Africans. Okay? Well, the reason why I'm moving is because I got reelected to the local office that I hold. I didn't want to get reelected, but here's the thing. What I've done is I scared the piss out of these Africans and their grifting ways. I told them up front, temporary protection status ended for the Somalis yesterday. TPS ends for these daggum Haitians. If you don't have a scrap of paperwork, you can't get state or federal funding. So why are you trying to set up nonprofits that you can't have under your name or under your business name, because basically Trump's going to take all of your assets and you can't do anything about it. And here's the cold piece. A lot of these Pan-Africans set stuff up. They set it up in the 80s and they set it up in the 90s. And the reason why Pan-Africanists are quiet right now is because they know foundational Black Americans, as U.S. citizens, we can petition the state and federal government to open up the books, open up the business records, open up the tax records. Okay? Just if you were watching the news, you saw what's going on in Minnesota. Okay? They caught all of those Somalis stealing all of that money from Medicare, Medicaid. And who helped them sign up? Those NGOs with those Pan-Africanists. They told them, here's how to do this. Here's what you do. Here's who you talk to. Okay? And you still got a lot of Black leadership or the misleadership class saying that it's okay for that to go on. I put in the purple pill how that Congresswoman of Haitian stock, she just got indicted for grifting. She took all of that campaign money and some of that money and was running it through her family. And she got popped. Okay? And so who set this up for these people to think that this was okay? Pan-Africanists. They were using those people, all of those immigrant buffer groups, especially the ones from the Caribbean. That was in the 70s and 80s. And then when Jesse Jackson, who's not doing so good right now, he started calling us African Americans starting in 88. They got all of them Africans over here that came gangbusters. And what happened? Their house of cards have fallen in. And you know what I do? I just sit there and look at them. You didn't do anything for us. You sure as hell didn't help us. Okay? So don't expect anybody to help you guys. You sat up here for at least 3 decades that I've seen, and those Africans were just saying some of the most vile, racist shit, and didn't think that anybody was going to call them out on it. And we started calling them out, and they're still running back and forth in denial, and now they're in hiding. And you know what? It's a beautiful thing. And you know what? What did Tom Homan say? Families can be deported together. And with that, I land.
That part. We've been watching all of these different scammers go on about right here in America. Fam, weren't foundational Black Americans the first ones and the only ones that exposed the scammer culture in a lot of these tethers and a lot of these migrants and immigrants? We were the ones talking about that. Now it seems like every single day I turn on the news, I see people talking about this person scammed here, that person scammed there. And it's always people who have foreign backgrounds. America should have been listening to foundational Black Americans a long damn time ago, and they wouldn't be in this crisis that they're in right now had they just listened to us. We're the ones who exposed the fact that these people are coming to America. No one knows who the hell they are. They're being placed in our communities. These people are scamming. They have a tear everything down if I can't get my ashy ass fingernails on it culture. All of that stuff we've been saying for the longest amount of time. Now it's all coming to light. And y'all know what they say, was done in the dark comes to light. And FBA, we done had that damn spotlight on them, exposing them. And that's what they don't like, y'all. They want us to live in a world where they just do all this dirt right in front of us and no one says nothing. And then they go make a TikTok video and try to break down our culture. If I see one more ashy ass tether making a video trying to tell us about Black American culture or Black American history when they don't even have a birth certificate. If you ain't got no damn birth certificate, you don't need to be talking about no certifieds. These people come over here and they try to break down supremacy to the detail and all the variables and the nuances. If you know so much about supremacy, then how come you over there getting colonized for the billionth time? You are in no position to talk about foundational Black Americans for two reasons. One, you ain't no damn foundational Black American. And then two, your homeland is in ruins. Don't come over here trying to tell me about supremacy as if you got some long history of fighting it, as if you got some long history of resisting it. Remember, y'all, Africans, Haitians, and Jamaicans have a long history of being collaborators, not regulators. There's a big difference, and you know exactly what that is. These people are friends of the dominant society. They buddy with the dominant society. They want to be next to the dominant society. So when they come over here and they start talking about supremacy and how the Black Americans is acting like the white man, all that is, family, is misdirection and a diversion. That's basically trying to put a jacket on us, one in which they wear every single day of their life. And here's the thing. You ain't got videos of foundational Black Americans doing all that off-coded behavior that they be doing. You name the off-coded behavior in the system of supremacy, and I promise you, you'll find a billion videos of Africans, Haitians, and Jamaicans, and you find it in about 2 minutes, y'all. And then you can go back decade to decade to decade. They ain't got no history of standing up for themselves. So therefore, they won't have no history or no present of opening their mouth and talking about Black American business. Black American business is for Black Americans. Bottom line, there ain't no in-betweens. There ain't no conversations. We're not sitting here having no debate and no dialogue. I tell your ass to get the hell out the way, you get the hell out the way. And remember, this is my country and not your country. So what I say goes, what I say has more valuable, and I say that you are a tether and you cannot tether on the foundational Black Americans no goddamn more. And it's going to take all of us, the regulators, to step up. Because like I tell y'all, there ain't no delineation without regulation. And that's the type of energy that we pushing forward right here today. So when you examine these people's behavior and you watch the way these folks function, family, these people are anti-Black American in every single aspect. Every single thing they do is anti-Black American. The way they breathe is anti-Black American. The way they speak is anti-Black American. The way they walk, the way they talk is anti-Black American. These people have a long-gated history of being anti-Black American certified. And right now they cannot stand the fact that we expose the fact that they have been on this puppet and minion behavior for the dominant society. I want you to put your mind in the system and the way the system operates and it functions. The dominant society wakes up every day trying to find collaborators. The first people that they point to are people from the diaspora. Yes, the hell they do. Because they understand that people will break their back to come over here and get some Jollof biscuits. Yes, the hell they will. And they'll fly these people in. And these people will do all the bidding for the dominant society. So now that foundational Black Americans have delineated and separated, we cleared a lot of things up. Delineation has made it clear. Delineation is a line in the sand. You can't just come over here to foundational Black America and act like what you're doing benefits us when we're not the same. You can't come over here and try to tell foundational Black America that our history is your history, and you damn sure can't call us enslaved Africans. I want y'all to notice all these little backdoor, back avenue aspects that they try to pull on us, so eventually they can get us to put the flag down so they can pick the flag up.
Okay, go ahead, Chris. Oh, you are? Okay, go ahead, Church.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Go ahead, family.
Peace and blessings to the room. My brother Alpha, Queen Alpha, my sister Natural, EJ, Rose City, of course, Jesse, our sister Nana, Marcel, much love to you. I hope all is well with you. Mikael, Sage, and our sister Brooke. Before I get started, everybody, I put into the pill some information. Our sister Brooke, they have a situation going on out there where they're trying to put through a bill to delineate and disaggregate the data out there from the tethers from foundational Black Americans. So make sure you hit that link and you go and support that. And all it is sending a letter. Also, they're trying to get to these reparations panels. So make sure you support my sister Brooke, as well as our brother, President Divine, from the Freedmen's Project out there. But with that being said, family, I just wanted to say a few quick things. Number one, right now, our delineation has everybody really showing their ass. And what I mean by that is that you're seeing all these people who were used to getting attention, and the attention's being pulled away from them. And now they're running around here acting like children, making up lies about us, in blatant lies, right? I know you guys heard about the so-called Israelite dude. I forget his name, Zaria, whatever his name is, going around talking about, well, FBA, they voted on T.S. Giselle being the first lady of FBA. Just a whole bunch of nonsensical trash and garbage, because their messaging is not getting across anymore. People aren't looking to these same people anymore. They're actually feeling more attached to FBA than anybody you're seeing online. And you're seeing a lot more people coming out and really showing their immaturity because of that. For anybody to make up a blatant lie like that, that just shows how desperate these people are. And there was somebody who responded to that earlier where he was like, I guess the F in FBA stands for something else. And I had to come out and just put it simple and plain. You people are pathetic. Only pathetic people would try so hard in order to demonize a group, just a lineage, right? Just to demonize us because you don't like that the attention's been taken off of you. You're not getting the attention that you once got. I text Tariq and I asked him if this was true. Why would you do it? That's just ignorance. And we don't have to sit here and even address ignorance in such a manner. You already know, we already know that that's BS. So when you're seeing these people just blatantly come out telling lies just to tell a lie, just understand why they're doing it. 9 times out of the 10, they're an op. And then the other time, they're jealous. You shouldn't be jealous. Let's keep it 100. And I also want to address, and my brother Alpha, he touched on this a little bit earlier, Professor James Small coming out and saying FBA are cowards. And I'm going to do this respectfully as possible. A coward is somebody who would allow these tethers to come over here, disrespect us, our lineage, heritage, and culture, and let it fly. A coward would be somebody who allows someone to come in their house and slap them in the face and then walk right out the door. A coward is somebody who flees from their homeland to be under a group of people that has never been cowardice to begin with. And I found it very disingenuous that he said, basically, if you want to be a coward and not fight against the oppressor, this, that, and the third, we're the only people around the world globally that's consistently fights the oppressor day after day, night after night. We don't let up because we know the system of W supremacy don't let up. And so all these other folks are running over here to be under a system of supremacy, to be under the Nabisco and get their little heads pat on like the lapdogs they want to be. I find that to be cowardice. Us standing up for ourselves, that's not a coward move. That's actually bravery. That's actually standing on business. And you're not going to change anything about it by sitting there saying anything different. And I want to make sure everybody understands, and this is the reason why I brought that up, because you have some of the pan goofies now trying to take that video clip and spread it around like, see, Dr. Small said FBAs are cowards. So y'all cowards, y'all just don't want to fight for Africans. And we shouldn't have to fight for Africans. Africans should be fighting for them themselves. When did we become the soldiers of the world? When do we become Superman for every other melanated group? Clark Kent is on vacation. We didn't put that cape up a while ago, because what we see every time we done flown in and saved somebody, the very same people that we done sat there and flew in and saved, took them back to our homeland and tried to make sure that they're right. They sit here and not only disrespect us, but they disrespect our ancestors and everything that they did, not just for us, but black people globally. And that will not stand. And I don't care who it is. If you're off code, you're off code. And I say this with the utmost respect. Everybody cannot go. So if you choose to be an African, that's great. Go be an African. But go over to Africa and help the African fight for freedom. Because you'll see when you get there and you stay there, I don't mean go there and come back. I mean, go over there and actually fight. Help them fight, because when you go over there and do that, what you're going to see is you're going to be the only person fighting. Look at Ibrahim Touré. Now, I don't agree with him going from one Nabisco to the next Nabisco, but I do see him trying to fight the good fight for at least his country. And you have African countries surrounding him willing to call him out, but not call out the system in which they're being oppressed and colonized under. This is the problem that I see right here. That and I guarantee you, anybody who claimed to be a Pan-African will not go over there and fight that fight, because they already know that those Africans are fighting amongst each other as we speak. We have been the only people to put Pan-Africanism on our backs. We've been the only people to go around the world fighting for other black people globally. We're the only people that's disrespected for doing the right thing. So at the end of the day, I'm going to end with this. Everybody cannot go. And your decision is your decision, but you cannot put your decision upon the rest of us. We know who we are. We know what we represent. We know what our bloodline is. And you can't sit here and try to gaslight us or shame us to put back on a cape that we only took off because those same people we were saving was disrespectful. I'll land there, family. Back to you, my brother Alpha.
All day, family. Let me go ahead and address that, because my brother just laid it out right there, and a lot of people been hitting me up. They've been wanting to know what the number one activist opinion is on this situation. So I'm going to go ahead and address this right now. Fam, what you're dealing with right now with foundational Black Americans and Pan-Africans, it's a simple case of fantasy versus reality, okay? You're dealing with people who are living in a fantasy. Their fantasy is that all African people on the planet Earth will team up with all Jamaicans and Haitians, and everybody with a little ounce of melanin will all lock arms and kick our legs and sing "We Are the World," and one day take over the oppressor. But what I really think is that they want to do all that so a lot of them can be next to the oppressor. Because if you got so much of a problem with foundational Black Americans, I don't think you got so much of a problem with the oppressor, because we the only ones who've been fighting them. How the hell you claim to be against the oppressor, but you mad at the person who've been fighting the oppressor since day one? That don't make no sense in any language. How you mad that foundational Black Americans are in a delineation process, but yet you still come out here and you skip over the fact that Africans are fighting Africans right now? Again, I'm still waiting. And I'm going to tell y'all this clear as day. If Pan-Africans addressed all of the turmoil going on in Africa, that would be a full-time job. I'm talking about your ass would have to wake up at 6 a.m., be up a whole 24 hours, and then do the same thing again. You would have no time for breakfast, no time for lunch, dinner. You couldn't even have a snack. You wouldn't even be able to go to work. Your hands would be so full and so tied with what's going on in Africa, because every single day for hundreds of years, Africa has had tribalism, backstabbing culture, and inner turmoil. So I'm wondering, where in the hell do you got so much time to talk about foundational Black Americans? Fam, if you take foundational Black Americans, which is a country, a lineage inside of a country, some people say 40 million, I say 50 million. That's a good number right there. 50 million of us in the United States of America. And you got a problem with that? But somehow you blind and you skip over and deny and ignore that big ass continent that's been fighting each other for years, and you ain't made one damn video about them. You should be talking about the Sudan alone. Let's just talk about Sudan. If you were talking about Sudan, you wouldn't have no time to talk about foundational Black Americans. If you were talking about Nigeria, you would have no time to talk about foundational Black Americans. What about South Africa? What about Kenya? What about Ghana? Your hands would be so full that you wouldn't even have any sort of focus on what we're doing over here as a lineage, a heritage, and culture. So now I got to start questioning some of these people's behavior. I got to start really seeing it. And as I absorb the whole situation and I understand what they're really up to, FBA, being a reality-based movement, disrupts their fantasy land. Somebody who living in a fantasy, their number one enemy is reality. Oh, they can't stand reality. Let me tell you something, family. They hate reality as much as a hoe hates her pimp. That's what it is. They don't like the fact that when we talk about we not the same, that puts a spotlight on the fact that you can't get my reparations. You done bursted their damn bubble. They hurt right now. They don't want to live in a world where they can't mooch off and leech off of foundational Black Americans. I always tell people all the time that we remind these people of their failures every time they look at us. We also remind them of reality, and you can't live in a fantasy land. How do you know what I'm saying is correct? Because brothers and sisters who used to be on Pan-Africanism, the reason why they left that, because they said, you know what? That's a damn fantasy. And you know it's a fantasy. I know it's a fantasy. And they having a hell of a hard time trying to swallow that reality that they living in a fantasy. You know it's cold, family, when you can't swallow the reality because it's up your fantasy. But that's the reality for all of them Pan-Africans. Nobody on the planet Earth is walking around here with that utopia. And what they do is they begrudge us, because we're the ones out here messing up their financial gain. Because remember, y'all, all that Pan-African money done got dried up. My sister Natural just showed you all of those African publications and platforms where these people is getting the bag. Let me tell y'all a couple other things, okay? They've been out here selling foundational Black Americans Wakanda packets before the damn movie Black Panther ever came out. Who's getting that money today? Delineation done wrap that up. You can't come around here and get a bunch of Negroes who have identity crisis to go over to Africa. You can't do that. Fam, let me tell you, delineation has made a lot of people go broke. They just cannot afford to live in this world where they can't hustle and scam foundational Black Americans. Fam, that was $1 trillion industry. Now the asses can't get $1. All them folks, you name them. Pan-Africans, scam Africans, tethers, hoppers, skippers, jumpers, the Democratic Party, anybody who had a vested interest in trying to fool foundational Black Americans for monetary gain has got their bubble bursted. And now they sitting there with no money in their damn pockets, no money in their bank. And a lot of them is running around here looking like Harry Potter. Okay, I don't trust grown men who dress up like Harry Potter and then open their mouth about foundational Black Americans. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So foundationals, certifieds, we over here doing our own thing. And it would be best that individuals just shut up and mind their own business. Mind their own business. Remember, we only talk about them when they cross the street to our side. When they over there on their side, we don't give a damn. We don't care. Go ahead. Do whatever you want. If y'all want to fight each other all damn day long in your village, y'all want to sell each other out to the colonizer, go ahead. If you want to live in some world of utopia where all Africans is going to get together and team up, go ahead. If you want to sell people Wakanda packets so you can pay your rent in that dump ass apartment that you live in, go ahead. I don't mind that. It's only when they cross the street over here to certified Black society that we speak up. So think about it, y'all. They worry about us when we over here minding our own business, and we only talk about them is when they try to insert themselves into our business. That's an even exchange, a very even exchange. Do you, we gonna do us. But you know why they cannot mind their own business, y'all? Because they need foundational Black Americans to help them out. This is what it's about. Oh yeah, this is what it's really about. FBA is good to go without anybody. You can't say that for Pan-Africans. I tell people all the time, FBA, we are straight operating amongst ourselves. All of these other people require our assistance. Right now, what we're seeing in the world, not just America, is everybody out there who cannot get anything off the ground, no traction, without foundational Black Americans being involved in it. That's really what it is. Y'all see now all the people who are fussing and complaining about Black Americans. What's the one common denominator, my beautiful brothers and sisters? What's the common denominator? They all need us. They all need us. Your destiny is shaped by if foundational Black Americans help you out or assist you. That's not our destiny. Our destiny is we wake up, foundational, exceptional, certified, get paid. We don't need none of y'all, but you need us. So you're dealing with the fantasy and the reality, the certifieds, the counterfeits, those that need somebody else versus somebody who don't give a damn about nobody else. That's where you're dealing with all the Pan-Africans right now, because they understand if FBA don't support Pan-Africanism, what the hell do they got? They ain't had nothing when Black folks were supporting them. Where is the Pan-African parades? You see the Democrats, you see the Republicans, you see the Puerto Ricans, you see the Jamaicans, you see all of these people who have anti-Black American energy, but ain't none of them built nothing. Ain't that funny? They always telling us, you haven't built nothing in America, nigga. Okay, well, what is Pan-Africanism built? Tell me, well, who's the Pan-African political party? Where are they candidates? You ain't pushed the Pan-African candidate yet? Where that at? Tell me right now, what you done built? Where your Marines at? Where your military at? You got all the resources over there in Africa. You stepping on them right now. Your dusty, dingy ass flip-flops are standing on the resources. How come Pan-Africans haven't built anything, haven't had their own institutions? They should. They talk so high and mighty. How come you ain't built nothing for yourself? Because you ain't got nothing without FBA holding you down. And FBA, we done went down that line, family. We see it doesn't work for us. And remember this, y'all. You have the opportunity and you have the right as a foundational Black American to cut off any relationship that doesn't work for you. Pan-Africanism doesn't work for us. And ain't nobody gonna try to punk us that we gonna have to do what you want us to do because you living in some fake ass world with fake ass Wakanda where you want to fool some people to go over there to some fake ass village and have some fake ass unity. Why are you so worried about foundational Black Americans getting along with Africans when you ain't said a damn thing about why Africans don't get along with Africans?